Hello, everybody, and welcome to a beautiful California day. It is round number 1 of the NGPC series here from American MX, Delano, California. My name is Jack Rapella, and I want to wish each and every one of you a very happy new year. We're only 14 days into 2024, but it is time to go racing. The excitement is off the charts. The top racers from around the country are here. My name is Jack Rapella. I'm going to be joined by Nick Garvin here this weekend, and a big shout out to this series because last year we gave you a little taste. We did 3 races live and said, this is a glimpse into the future. Well, now this series has rolled up their sleeves. They have done the hard work. They have gone out and got the partners, and they tell us we are going live all this season. It's going to be incredible. So stay with us. Let your friends know we're live on NGPC YouTube. We've got a 90-minute fight to the finish coming up at one of the most unique and fastest courses in this series. We're about 30 miles north of Bakersfield, California, and it is a cool, comfortable 60 degrees. When we woke up today, didn't feel very California-like. It was actually in the 30s. So if you've come here for a beach vacation, this may not be what you want. But for these riders that you're taking a look at right now, they relish this opportunity because how many times do we go out in the sweltering desert in the summer, some of the different stops on tour where it's just so hot, but here, ideal temperatures for going out there and pushing your limits. And that's what these racers will do because it's 90 minutes. This is one of the most physically demanding forms of motorcycle racing that there is. And for all the 450 pros out there, there's one question on their mind. How do we stop the 4-time defending champion Dante Oliveira, who has been on a tear here since he was 19 years old? I'll tell you another guy who's on a tear, and that is our series insider. Let's toss it down to Nick Garvin as he gets us ready to go.
What's going on, you guys? I'm getting ready down here at the pro starting line. I ran into last year's winner, Ryan Surratt. Ryan, take us through last year a little bit, and now what you're doing this year and coming into round 1 without virtually a ride this year.
Yeah, it's a little different conditions this year. Obviously, we had a bit of a mutter last year, so it's going to be a little bit drier out there and a little less ruts than last year, so quite a bit different. But still here to try to do the same thing and just trying to see what we can do at these first few races and hopefully make it out of this one and hopefully make it to the next one. I can't thank Mark Samuels enough for letting me borrow one of his motors just to even race this. I showed up here without a motor in my bike and threw that thing in, and we're going racing and seeing what happens.
Right on. Well, if you guys don't remember last year, this guy put the hurt on Dante Oliveira out here. He was a series points leader, and unfortunately for him, he's all by himself this year. He's got some help from Johnny Campbell, but at the end of the day, it's all about Surratt. Jack, back to you in the booth.
Thanks a lot, Nick, and you said it, and I'll tell you, last year's winner, he said a mouthful when he said conditions are way better. Last year was a total debacle. It was a mud hole, uncharacteristic of what you would see. Take a look out there now. This area known for agriculture, for vast farming, the rolling, sweeping hills, and it looks like you could throw seeds down on that soil. It is absolutely perfect. Mother Nature has blessed us with a light shower yesterday, just enough that we didn't have to get out the watering tracks. And I'll tell you, this track is reminding me a whole lot of what we see back east. It's nice to see California racers get a taste of this because, like I said, once we get into those summer months, it is usually just so dry and dusty out here. But today, here in mid-January, as we get set to kick off this series, beautiful conditions. Take a look at the track right there. Heard that it's actually getting a little hard packed. There are some blue groove sections, and I want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors here this weekend. One in particular is the suspension legend. Bob Bell is here with us of Precision Concepts. He talked to me earlier about dialing in some of these motorcycles and how there's not an opportunity really to rest. But from what I understand, we do have, I do believe, Nick Garvin standing by once again. Nick doing a great job getting us ready for the season. Nick, what do you have for us?
Hey, you gotta love it.
Absolutely. Nick down there just moments away. As you can tell, all the riders getting in the zone. Who's Nick with right now? Go ahead, Nick.
I know, right? We're back down here at the pro starting line, and guess what? I'm running into the number one, the Red Bull KTM of Dante Oliveira. Dante, 4-time champion, going for that 5th this year. What's it going to take to start off the new year fresh, though?
Just be aggressive and fast, and make no mistakes, and get a good start, and just hammer out for that hour and a half. Everybody's fired up and strong and ready to go racing, so just got to be better.
Got to be better. That's how it's going to be if you're going to win the championship, is being the best. This guy is no shame to getting on the podium, and that Red Bull KTM's got the number 1 plate for a reason. We'll look for this guy at the front of the pack today. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Nick. Do appreciate it as we give you a look high atop Delano, California. The beautiful scenic surroundings, and absolutely that red number 1 on Dante's bike. Somebody's going to have to do yeoman's work to take it away from him. You're going to have to rip it away from him, because talking to his mechanic, Bobby Dawson, earlier, he said, simply put, there is no off-season for Dante. He trains like an animal year-round. His results speak for themselves. 4-time series champion out here. Took 3rd at 6 days last year, and he says he's gunning for a 1st. That's the race in Argentina that attracts some of the best riders in the world. So there is no doubt about it. Dante and his brother, too. Don't sleep on his brother, because Mateo says he's been doing a lot of training with Big Brother, and he looks to be tough this year as well. So many tough teams, so many changes to talk about. All the factories are here, all the tough competitors from last year. And the question is, who will seize that early momentum? I'm reminded of a racing cliche. I remember a couple years ago had the opportunity to sit in with the great Chad Reed when he was previewing the Supercross season, and the media was trying to get some truth out of him, because what do you hear from these racers? You hear a lot of cliches. You can't win the championship in round 1. That is so true. But finally we asked Chad Reed, what is really going through a racer's mind in round number 1? He said, here's the truth. You can't win the championship here, but you can set the bar very, very high. I'll tell you who else is setting the bar very high. Over the offseason, Beta became the official motorcycle of the NGPC series, and they are really coming on strong. Let's find out a little more about Beta motorcycles.
What's going on, guys? My name is Derek DiMartile. I ride for Liqui Moly Beta USA, and Beta USA is the official dirt bike of NGPC, and this is our 2024 Race Edition Model 300. I'm going to go over some of the features about it. We're going to be raffling this bike off at the end of the year. This is our 24 model, so it's going to have the KYB rear shock and KYB front forks. This bike's got a ton of good features on it. Comes with quick disconnect front axle on it, 18-inch rear wheel, 6-speed transmission, headlight, electric start, everything you're going to want and need. I couldn't be more pumped that Beta USA is raffling off this bike for the NGPC series, and couldn't be more so.
And they are so strong. Take a look at this field. It is stacked. Who will grab the momentum here in round number 1? So happy to be with you. Again, my name's Jack Rapella. Nick Garvin stepping back in the booth. Nick, you had an opportunity to go talk to a few of the superstars down there. What are your thoughts heading into this brand new season?
Man, I got to say, there's a lot of testosterone running through the pits, if you know what I mean.
Well, we've got rider call-ups going on right now, so let's meet this field. And very appropriate that announced number 1 first would be the one and only Dante Oliveira.
I think that's Michaela Nielsen on the woman. I think they're doing
Thank
the
you very
woman.
much. I saw the one. It's hard to see from this vantage point. I was still focused on Dante. Michaela, a huge story as well. How about Michaela out there, the SLR Honda coming over from KTM?
Yeah, all those years with KTM and Mark Samuels, what a trick, man. Pulled off that number 1 plate on the Honda, having the Gillies over. We got the RPM KTM, Caitlin Jacobs. I know she's looking for another strong year in the series.
And look at the field that has assembled here in Delano, California. Guys, we're getting closer and closer to that dead engine start. No gate drop here. The light will turn green when it's time to go. And row by row, they will fire them up and head off for the first race of this 2024 campaign.
Looks like Colton Neck coming down there, the first Pro 2 rider. Looks like he got 5th in the series last year. He's made a switch over to Kawasaki. He was with the Three Brothers KTM team, and now making a switch over to the Hatch Racing Cowie. Look for him. I mean, he can win these races, no problem.
And Nick, I was talking about this moments ago as we look at this beautiful shot of the starting line. Doesn't it look like you could just plant seeds, plant crops down there right now? That's how perfect this soil is for racing.
100%. I mean, this is farming land out here. I mean, the dirt is perfect. Soil's perfect no matter what time of the year. This is where you want to be.
Not too dry, and we are just moments away as we listen in on these call-ups, introducing the riders from all the different categories. As Nick mentioned moments ago, top women's rider introduced earlier, Michaela Nielsen. She's probably one of the biggest stories of the offseason, leaving her longtime brand of KTM, switching over to SLR Honda. Had an opportunity to talk with that whole team earlier, and they are very excited that they feel like they have an opportunity to win some titles out here. That's what you got to love about the brand new racing year. Everybody starts fresh. Everybody starts anew. Right now, the points, even for everybody.
It's an even field. You got to love it, though. Brand new year. I mean, everyone's got a fresh slate, and, I mean, come on. Who?
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, too, I want to continue to applaud this series. Everybody with your team starts with Craig Hunter and everybody on the board out here at NGPC. We were able to do this a couple times last year. It was so new. Big shout out to Ross Fitz Productions for being out here with us. And we said, man, could you imagine if we could do this every single round? Guess what? Your team rolled up their sleeves, got the sponsors like Precision Concepts, all the great people backing us, and we will be bringing you this coverage live all year round.
All year, and you know, I want to make a little note to that. I've watched this series grow from when I was a little kid to now, and they're doing it top notch. They're listening to everybody, what they want, what the racers want at the end of the day. This series went from 600 average, you know, a weekend to now almost 2,000 racers coming out to race this race on big events. I mean, it's incredible to watch something so small and a big dream come to fruition.
Yes, indeed. Well said. As we take a look at the starting grid. Now, Nick, give me a little bit of insight right now. We know if this was motocross, everybody's got a gate pick. Right now, the riders down there kind of manicuring their spot, kicking the dirt around a little bit. What's going through their mind?
Honestly, right now, these racers are looking for the best spot on the starting line on as far as the first corner. Yeah, everyone can get a jump, but if you're going to be the first to the corner, where am I going to be set up at and how I'm going to get there? As you can see, it looks like a lot of the guys are going to go center. That's kind of where you want to be, and if you're going to get the whole shot, you might as well be right up front.
And I do believe we have Mateo Oliveira coming down here. So many tough racers. And I think we've got another special feature piece coming up. Why don't we get to know one of these riders a little bit better? In 2023, it was yet another championship for Dante Oliveira. That makes 4 in a row, Dante. Here's the question. What does the competition have to do to stop you? What are you doing that they're not doing?
You know, I'm not too sure, but me and the team, we put in a lot of hard work. My trainer, Jared Brecker, he has an awesome program for me and my brother, and yeah, a lot of long days and just sticking to it. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm hungry, and I want another championship, so the boys are going to have to fight for it.
It's an amazing string of dominance, and in fact, I talked to your mechanic, Bobby Dawson. He says there is no off season. You don't take any time off. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we definitely work hard, and just with how the season goes, sure, we'll have maybe a week off or so, but yeah, we don't really have too much of an off season. Kind of just always dig and just work on different things. There's so much to work on, so yeah, like I said, the team and my trainer, they have a great program for us, and there's always something to improve on, so we try to just keep on digging.
Speaking of improving, I know KTM's always improving. There's some changes to the bike this year. What's your impression so far?
The bike's nice. It's a little more relaxed and super comfortable, so it allows me to attack a little more. So I'm jiving with the bike and liking it.
Last thing for you here. After you win 4 championships, is the hunger level the same? What do you have to do to stay as focused, as driven as you were 4 years ago?
I feel like it's the same, if not more, because I've done it 4 times, so why shouldn't I do it a 5th time? And I'm sure everybody wants to take me down that much more. Just me.
More pressure now trying to get 5 in a row. How about that, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a champion, you want to back up that championship. And if you stack them like he does, I mean, you got to be hungry every time you come back every year.
It could be rough news for the rest of the field, too, that they further refined and improved the KTM. He talked about how great it was last year, and he's loving the brand-new 2024. He said the handling is even better.
You got to have a nice bike when you're going to ride 2 hours straight, giving it all you got.
That's right, guys. Remember, this will be a minimum of 90 minutes. That's how it works. When they go through the finish line, if it is anything less than 90 minutes, we will throw the white flag. And I believe right now they're running about 8-9 minutes a lap is what we're set at. So this is set to be a 90-minute-plus affair. You're talking about a whole lot of conditioning. We know how tough motocross is. We know how tough supercross is. You're talking about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. 90 minutes takes this conditioning to a whole nother level.
It's incredible what kind of shape these guys have to be in to go and race. I mean, you guys can put up a motocross guy up against these guys, and I'll tell you what, these off-road guys are going to outlast them every single time. They got the stamina to go that much further, that much longer.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, we really appreciate Beta Motorcycles stepping up big this year. I remember when I was a kid, it was just 4, right? Then here comes KTM. Here comes Husky. Well, don't look now because Beta coming on strong. Let's find out a little bit more about Beta.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the 2024 NGPC Series. We're cruising the pits in Delano, California at round 1 here. We got Dare DeMartell coming off his win at the Works race last weekend. Dare, welcome to the 2024 Series.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm pumped being here.
Yeah, how was last weekend? And tell us about the 2024 bike.
Oh, last weekend was just a long time coming. Me and the team put in a lot of work to try to get a win, and we finally got it the first round of the series, so I'm pumped.
Yeah, so last year you had a small injury. Tell us a little bit about that and how it's affecting you in 2024.
The injury hasn't affected me at all in 2024. I recovered awesome. Just had a little mishap practicing at Blythe. And, yeah, just was on the outskirts of the track testing, and unfortunately I had a little mishap, fall over, and broke my arm. But, yeah, I'm healed up and ready to go.
And coming into round 1 here, how do you feel about the course? It's a little bit different than most of the courses on the series. It doesn't have a lot of jumps, but it's a lot of flat tracking. And if I remind myself, you did really well here last year.
Yeah. Last year I got second here, rode a good race. It was actually a mudder last year. So, yeah, it's going to be good. The track's just reversed. I really like this place, and I'm excited to go racing.
Right on. Well, guys, check out for Dare up at the front of the pack in the pro race.
Nice pre-race interview by you, Nick. Thanks a lot, and good luck to Team Beta here today.
That would be something spectacular, wouldn't it be?
And look at this. We're less than 5 minutes away from the start right now. We got the official referee and all the officials of this series down there making sure everybody's okay. This is it, guys. Less than 5 minutes away from kicking off a brand new season. An overwhelming amount of off-season buzz is about to culminate as we go racing for the first time in 2024. Nick, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can anybody stop Dante Oliveira?
I mean, if it's going to be a few guys, I got to say Justin Heff has been riding phenomenally well, and same with Dare DeMartell. These guys they raced last weekend. They're coming in this weekend nice and fresh. They were at the front of the pack at the Works race. Why not here?
250 category wide open. We want to continue to send thoughts and prayers to our defending champion. Cade Walker was unfortunately injured in the Baja 1000. The good news is he's going to be okay. The bad news, he's certainly not in condition to be racing this season, but we understand he's watching. So, Cade, thoughts and prayers to you. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please drop it in the comments. Get well, Cade. Can't wait to see you back. Have you heard anything about the condition of Cade, Nick?
Yeah, just... You know, I'm friends with Mark Samuels, so every once in a while I'll check in with Mark, and you see those posts about how he's doing, and it looks like he's actually making a big turnaround. He's doing really well. He has some remnants of the crash in the day that it happened, and the best you can do is really pray for him, and back that he'll get his mobility all back, and it's a scary thought, but it seems like he's doing a really good job.
All right, big round of applause down there on the starting lines. The crew people and officials start to get off to the periphery, and that means we are inching closer and closer to starting this 2024 NGPC campaign. a series where we will be live at every round this year. Hope you're loving it. Like I said, no matter where you're watching from, do me a favor right now. Drop your location in the comments and share this with a friend who loves this Sunday entertainment. Where else would you rather be? Time to smell a little race gas. That's the only thing we need to work on, is permeating that race gas through the device for you guys. I know that would make your Sunday morning just a little more pleasant, or Sunday afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. Also talking about the women's division. That one's going to be interesting. We had mentioned Michaela, your defending champion, her big switch over to SLR. Well, don't sleep on Ava as well, because on the Gas talked to her, who was very, very close to Michaela last year, and she feels like she may have made up a little ground over the offseason.
Yeah, one thing with Ava Silvestri, which we should make a notable, is she beat Michaela actually at the Western Hare Scramble Series. So that's something to make note of. She can beat her. Once you know that you can beat someone, you just, you got that confidence to go after someone. So those two are very tight.
Going to see a lot of great racing as we welcome you in once again. Thanks a lot. Alongside Nick Garvin, I'm Jack Corpella from Cycle Drag YouTube. Thank you guys so much for having me. We are so pumped. We are so excited, so happy for this series. Going to be live all year, and we're about to find out who's going to seize that early season momentum. You had a very interesting interview pre-race with Ryan Surratt, and I got to believe that he feels like he's got an opportunity to go back-to-back here. The confidence surge he must have got last year winning this thing has got to carry right over into this year.
Yeah, when you win somewhere, it puts your confidence up to that next level, because you already know you can do it. You know the conditions. You already know what you're striving for. And a guy like Ryan Surratt, who's made Supercross main events, has made outdoor nationals, top 10 outdoor 450s. I mean, this guy knows what confidence is all about, and when you give him a little bit, he's a dragon. He's going to go after it, and he's going to win if he gets that taste.
We'll find out who's going to get the taste, guys. We'll give you a little bit more information about this track. A lot like European motocross, old school European motocross. You're not going to see a lot of big 90-foot triples or anything like that, but you will find some serious elevation, rolling hills, and some wide open straightaways. It is 6 miles. That's how long the course is out here. And talking to a few of the riders, spoke with Jack Simpson at length. He said there's 4 or 5 spots where you can just tap a 450 out. 5th gear, wide open. Some of you in the comments may know better than me, because Jack wasn't even exactly sure, but we know that's north of 80 miles an hour on a dirt bike. And when I say that, guys, hey, you're talking to a street bike rider over here. That's not 80 miles an hour on a Hayabusa or an R1. That's on a dirt bike where your teeth are chattering. Jack said you can't even see straight when you tap these things out wide open.
Yeah, not out here either. And you got to say, Jack, the roost here hurts so bad. The roost up here, I can't even describe it. I was in practice with the pros yesterday just to get a taste of what it was like. Yeah, I pulled off in like 4 corners. I couldn't take it anymore. It hurt that bad.
Whew. I don't know. The courage that these riders have, I might just have a full airbag suit on out there. You talk about anything north of 80 miles an hour, heck, anything north of 50, 60 miles an hour, I may be opting for the full leathers. Nonetheless, that's why they're the best racers in the world, and the fans, the moms, the dads, the mechanics, they are finding their way off this racetrack here. Big shout out to the folks at American MX. Had an opportunity to talk to them earlier this morning. It's a labor of love. They've had this racetrack for about 5 years now. They want to keep it growing, and they are so happy that NGPC starts the season here. And this is what we got to do. We got to keep these racetracks alive. That's how we keep motorsports growing. That's how we keep dirt bikes alive. And here we go, Nick. We're getting closer. It is almost time to go green.
Almost time. We got to get that dead engine start. Remember, guys, they're doing a dead engine start. Who's going to be the quickest to that button? What bike's going to fire first?
Yeah, thank goodness. I don't see much yellow out there. I don't see any kickstart Suzukis. Everybody's got an electric start. Quite easier to fire these machines up than when it was way back in the day. Sometimes I'm not too past my time, but it was funny watching some of the mechanics tune them in today with a cell phone, thinking, what happened to changing jets? What happened to getting fuel on your hands? Nope, you don't have to do that anymore, guys.
Yeah, it's all FI, man. All those FI systems. It's incredible. This is a technology game now.
Yes, it is. And here we go. It is time to go green. Who's ready to go racing? A brand new season of NGPC, the AMA National Grand Prix Championship, about ready to blast off here. It is go time. Who will get the whole shot? Keep an eye on the number 1 as we give you some great aerial coverage here. Nick will try to spy who's got the early hole shot.
It looks like Cole Martinez on the SLR sweeped it around. I said it in the beginning of the race that if you stand up on the outside of the corner, it shoots you straight to the corner instead of making 2 corners, and he just executed that start perfectly.
So we've got a long way to go, but as for now, it is Cole Martinez who makes a statement, seizes the momentum. Somebody hot on his tail, though. Can't see who that is. Where's Dante up there? Keep an eye on that big number 1. I'm sure he's not that far back.
Yeah, that's Dare DeMartell on that beta. Gotten a good start. Oh, is it going to be?
Who's got the whole shot here? Oh, what a battle early on. We've got a few orange bikes up front. Keep an eye on the number. As I said, we'll give you as much information as we possibly can. Remember, we got live timing and scoring up on the NGPC website as well. That can be your companion for watching this race live. Ooh. And look, the wide open nature already evident. I talked about getting a little bit of rain yesterday, but look at that. We're already seeing dust here on lap number 1. Welcome to the Sunshine State of California. It has warmed up nicely. Lap number 1. Welcome to the Sunshine State of California. It has warmed up nicely from the 39 degrees that we woke up to as we take a look at the beautiful rolling hills of this 6-mile course. Farming country, Delano, California, good old Kern County. They do a lot of racing up here. They love their late models. They love their stock cars. And they love fast dirt bikes.
Oh, here we go. That's a lead pack right there. It looks like it's still Cole Martinez leading Dare DeMartell. And I believe that's the younger Oliveira there in third. He's, just as hungry as his brother. He wants to beat these guys.
Yes, he does. I spoke to him pre-race, and he said he feels like he's closing in. Feels like he's learned a lot from his brother. What a mentor to have. As we've got a great battle here early on. We've still got 90 minutes to go, but these guys are racing like it's the white flag lap.
Yeah, it looks like Dare DeMartell really wants to assert his dominance right now. He wants to get ahead and lead these laps. I mean, why not? You win last weekend. You're bringing all that confidence into this weekend. Might as well get out front and set the pace in the early parts of the race.
I think, too, with Dare on the beta, anytime you can recover from an injury like that, you got to believe that it's just such a relief. He's probably so stoked to go out there and show what he's got. An injury is really, really deflating, and that's what he had to deal with all last year with a broken arm. But looks like he put in the off-season training, and that's what you find out here in round number 1. Who worked hard in the gym? Who worked hard on the practice bike? Who put in the miles with the trainer? Right now, Dare in great shape. So is Cole Martinez.
Yeah, these two, if you can notice here, Jack, you notice how there's separation already in the first few corners of this race? It's that roost absolutely is an effect in how these guys are racing forward. It hurts that bad, and it's gonna. I only see it only getting bigger throughout the race. It just, some of these guys, once you get that start, that's all you need to be in that front pack.
Well said. That is why the start is so important. We talk about this in desert racing as well, how important the clean vision, the clean air is. Now, the difference in desert racing, normally they stagger every single vehicle, so you don't necessarily have to win the overall to win the race. Here, if you left with that group, you have got to get in front of whoever is in front of you. And as you said, with that vicious roost, you guys have never been roosted, especially a fifth gear roost. Ouch. I'm sure they've got the best of the best chest protectors on today, but it still hurts. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter out here, especially with how good the dirt actually is. It looks like it's hard packed, but it's really not hard packed at all. It's really tacky. So it's just mud being beaten into the ground, but when it picks up, it just comes spitfiring at you, and it hurts. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
I just can't believe how much land they have out here at American MX as you take a look at the beta. Will it be the year of the beta? We appreciate them so much. Carlin Gardner, the whole team, Brian Marak as well. one of the team managers. Like we said, we hope to see them. They are on their way back from San Francisco, where Supercross raced last night, and they may be watching live right now, cheering on that man, Dare DiMartili. 2.5 years with Beta. He loves this motorcycle, grew up on all different makes. He said he feels right at home on that Beta.
Yeah, you know, he's from up in this range. You got to assume that he's used to this kind of terrain. So he's putting in a hard charge this first lap. Again, this is a 90-minute race, but he's comfortable. That's what I see right now, as you guys can see at home. He's comfortable. He's loose on the motorcycle, and that's what you need to win these races. You can't be tight and tense because you got 90 minutes to get through, and if you're tense for 60 of those minutes, you're only going to go backwards.
Well, anybody who's ever done any type of athletic training, if you've run a marathon, if you participated in cross country, it's the same philosophy. If you go out too hard, if you push it too hard in the beginning, if you let that anxiety and adrenaline take over, you can hit a wall. You hear runners talk about hitting that wall, about going out too hard. And to your point, that's what you want to avoid. It's all about who can make it till the end. It is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep, absolutely. But they are sprinting on this first lap.
That's right, they sure are. I mean, it's easy for us to say when you do that dead engine start for the first time in the year 2024 and everybody realizes, hey, we got to do something to break up this Dante Oliveira dominance. That's the other side of it. And that's why I thought, I don't know if you heard me earlier when you were down there, I always go back to what Chad Reed said a few years ago. I had an opportunity to listen in on the pre-race Supercross press conference, and He cut through all the fluff, all the cliche. He said, look, everybody says the same thing. You can't win the championship in round one, but you can make a statement, and you can set the bar very high, and everybody wants to win that first race.
Yeah, the one thing, though, with the championship, you don't want to show everybody what you got at the first round, though, because you want to use that and utilize that throughout the year. But, I mean, if you're out front, you're out front. I mean, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Like this guy right here, Dare. I mean, he's literally putting in his opening laps. He's pulling away from these guys.
He sure is. They're putting a little gap sauce on the rest of the field because take a look. I don't see who's running second right now. I don't know how far back Cole Martinez fell if he's still running second, but Dare doing a great job. So we'll see if he can keep it up. As we said, he's been training hard, coming back from a broken arm last year. He's got his dad with him out there in the pits, representing Factory Beta. I cannot believe it. Like I said, sometimes when you see a new manufacturer try to compete with powerhouses like KTM, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Honda, you're like, man, this is going to be an uphill battle. But I just got to tip my cap that Carlin Gardner, a little whip right there, one of the few places where you will get a little air. Carlin Gardner told me he was going to do this, told me this brand was going to be the next big thing, and I got to say, Nick, so far he has lived up to every word he told me.
Yeah, absolutely has. The one thing that we got to make a note of is they have had a few years on this off-road machine. They've been doing a lot of testing. Joe Wasson, Zane Roberts, guys like them have really put that bike through the desert paces. This Grand Prix thing is fairly new to these guys, and with that comes the Supercross as well. I mean, as you guys are seeing right now, there's some hiccups, but that bike is true and tested, and it has the endurance to last the races that they need to. And we're coming into the finish line chicane right now. Dare just got lap one down, and let's see how long it took him to get through this chicane.
One down for him. Can he keep the pace up? He's got a few of those Supercross sponsors on with him as well. Fiji Water on board with that motorcycle. Liquid Moly Oil on with him. So what's great is they're sharing a lot of resources. You can tell that team wants everybody to succeed, not just the Supercross team. They value what goes on out here, what goes on at Hare and Hound, what goes on at Best in the Desert. They value that just as much.
And that's a big thing in an off-road program. You're not just solidifying the Supercross guys. You're giving the off-road guys what they deserve as well. And that's what's really cool about the Factory Beta guys. Yes, Carlin Gardner comes from Supercross, but he wants to see Beta take over not just that. He wants to see it take over virtually the off-road motorsport world.
It could happen for sure. I got to tell you, I have never ridden one. I want to get on one now. They look fast. I love the different displacements, too. They make the 480RR. That's what he's on right now. Of course, they make a Supercross legal version to fit right in with the 450s as well, but some different displacement choices on Factory Beta, the official motorcycle of the NGPC. And right now, Dare couldn't be giving us a better plug or a better commercial. He said, I'll steal the spotlight, but can he hold up? And where is Dante, by the way? We'll see if we get an update on Dante. We'll keep an eye on that big one out there. Not to be confused with the one of Michaela. I've already made that mistake once. You see that big one out there. They have very similar big ones.
Yeah, you know, I don't see him coming through on our little live thing right here. I see his brother, but I don't see Dante.
Ooh, could be potentially problems. We'll keep you updated. Unofficial results for now, but that time by, we had Dare, we had Cole Martinez coming in second, Mateo Oliveira, and one of your picks, Justin Hof, in the number 4 spot. And how about Trevor Stewart as well? That Purvine Yamaha team looks to be tough this year. Jack Simpson, who made a step up into the 450s from the 250s, the rider from Melbourne, Australia, says he feels like he's got an opportunity to step up and challenge for the title.
Yeah, one thing that Jack mentioned to me while I was out in the pits today is he's accustomed to tracks like this in Australia. If you guys don't remember, last year he dominated the Pro 2 race here, and he loves this terrain. He's used to it. He's accustomed to it. He's ready to shine in the 450 class. That's what he's working towards, and very well can. He can very well do it. He's very, very talented.
Right now you're taking a look at Mason Siemens, the 118, according to our live timing, running about 14th right now. As we give you another look high above Delano, California, right here 30 miles north of Bakersfield. And it is so cool. It is no secret that tracks in any form of motorsports, we lost a lot of them during the COVID era. It is harder to keep them open. That's why we always say support these great tracks. It is so wonderful to see this facility up here in Cali flying. Now, there is the number one. There is Michaela, who we mentioned before. Big off-season news for her. Jumps on over to SLR Honda. Had an opportunity to chat with her moments ago. This 18-year-old young lady really has her head on straight. She is focused. She is poised. She has big goals in this sport. Probably looking at one of the top female riders in any genre in the world.
Yeah, she's really looking forward to just progressing with from what I've understood with her. You know, I see her a lot at Glen Helen. She's training with the boys. She's going out front. You know, she's leading the sprint laps. She's going first. She's putting herself in uncomfortable positions to progress herself on the motorcycle.
That's right. I asked her a lot of times. I ask ladies in motorsports. I said, "Hey, do you think the boys are giving you the respect you deserve?" She looked at me. She said, "They better. I'm beating a lot of them."
Oh, that is a great answer.
I'm sure it's true. She's so fast. She's fast. Ava's fast. We got a lot of tough women out here as well. And I remind you, if you have just found this series on YouTube, if this looks like fun, come on out and join us. That's a great thing about this sport. You can go get a dirt bike. They're so fast from the factory. Go get yourself all your safety gear. Find a place to practice. And, Nick, it doesn't take much to come out here. It's not just about the pros.
Nope.
All different categories out here.
Yeah, this series is built on amateur racing. I mean, look at all the campers that are out here. It's filled with campers this weekend. Obviously, just a small shot, but this is an amateur racing series. We got events and classes for all age groups, all classes, and it's amazing. It really is. It's awesome. Come on out. It's NGPC. It's a 9-round series this year, all across the West Coast, and yeah, absolutely awesome.
And the way that timing and scoring sorts this all out is there are designated colored placards that you need to have that lets everybody know what class you're in. There's also transponders that go inside the helmet. That's how we keep timing and scoring straight. Just another technological advancement. Again, back in my day, used to be a crew, whether it be a young lady or a young man with a loose leaf notepad and a pen, writing down numbers real fast. And let me tell you what, when 6 come through at the same time, good luck sorting that out. So shout out to the transponders that we have and the updated live timing and scoring, which you can keep up with, like I said, on NGPC on the website, ngpc.com, right here with us. Good companion to your race coverage. that we're providing you here today. Live coverage to kick off the 2024 campaign. And I know so many of our East Coast and Midwest friends, shout out to them because I think it was -7 yesterday.
Ugh.
So a lot of them are just like, unless they're running indoors, they're like, man, I wish I was out there in California with NGPC.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this is the weather you want to be at. I got to tell you what. Okay, so it looks like Dante's transponder's not picking up right now, so he's currently passing Cole for second. What a battle they got going on.
Dante, all right, so he's in the mix. We worry that something may have happened with him. That's why we tell you the live timing and scoring, unofficial until the end. There could be a faux pas there. There could be something wrong with his transponder, but we know by the eye test, unofficially, running second. Now, what is the gap between Dante and Dare? Dare has checked out. Where is he?
I mean, he's checked out. It looks like he's really pulled out a good cushion. I mean, he's got to be 10 seconds out front maybe, or
there he is.
Yep.
But look at Dante. Dante now stalking his prey. He can see him. He can hear him. He can smell him. He knows what the gap is. And Dante quickly pulling away from Cole Martinez. Cole Martinez so fast, but I think to your point, Nick, this is what we're seeing, that maybe Cole, that adrenaline is starting to wear off a little bit. Maybe he went out a little too hard. Dante gets around him, and now this is when Dante just locks in the zone and gets comfortable and settles in for the long haul. Look at the gap that he's opened up already.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that we've seen too much in this series, right? Dante, once he sees the prey, he goes after it, and he charges really, really hard. Because he's a champion. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you want to do is win. But right now, if I'm SLR Honda's Cole Martinez, I'm locking in. I'm trying to trail what Dante's doing, how he's going faster than me, because I have the speed as well to lock onto him, and maybe he can pull him up together, and then we got a three-race battle at the front.
Let me not dog Cole too hard, though. Big shout out to him. He might be hearing me inside his helmet. Like, don't give up on me yet. He's starting to pull back on Dante a little bit. But as for now, guys, unofficially, Dare DiMartilli, your leader, followed closely by, again, we updated you. We got Dante Oliveira running second. I know it says Cole Martinez on your graphic, but we do not believe Dante's transponder is working, but we can clearly see him out there on the Red Bull. Number 1 KTM, the brand new bike this year. His mechanic, Bobby Dawson, keeping a close watch on him. How about Dante going to Argentina, taking home a third in 6 days?
Yeah, he took home a third overall rider, but you know what? You got to give it up to both him and Cole Martinez. They brought home the gold for America.
Yes, USA team number 1 out there, the trophy team, and that meant so much to those guys. That means so much to the United States of America, and we get a good look at them rolling by right now. Some of the aforementioned roost, as we are still in the early stages here, but I'm surprised our drone can keep up with them. Shout out to our drone coverage. I think they had to turbocharge the drone over the offseason. It's moving, and so is Dante, guys. 4 consecutive championships. He's looking for a 5th. Had a miserable outing here last year, still got on the podium, but it was wet, it was nasty, and where is Ryan Surratt? We'll have to find him.
Yeah, it looks like Surratt's running in 8th. I want to catch up on the Pro 2 guys real quick. Mason Simons running on the RPM KTM. This is a story I want to talk about. This guy went back to Australia, didn't think he was going to have a ride, and the RPM KTM guys picked him up on a 4-race deal. 2 works races, 2 NGPCs. I really think he's trying to prove a point to stay here on the West Coast.
No doubt about that. As again, we want to thank all of our great sponsors who make this happen. You see Kawasaki up on your screen right now. Team Kawasaki taking a step back. They stepped up big in terms of contingency and live stream support. So thank you very much, Team Green. We hope to have them back out here as a factory squad as well. But you want to talk about contingency? I mean, thousands of dollars at stake for these races. We just talked with Mark Tilley from Dirt Bike Magazine, won a few races, took home 1,000 here, 1,000 there. It is really a big shot in the arm to all these amateurs to be able to pay some gas bills and pay some maintenance bills for that Kawasaki contingency. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it makes me want to go buy a Kawasaki and get back in shape.
That's what it's all about, giving back to the sport. We do appreciate it, guys, as we continue to roll through. Open 250, getting a look at there. Mason Siemens running in number 2. How about Kai Aiello? Talked with him earlier on. That's one of the most heartwarming stories in the pits. Guess who his mechanic is?
I mean, you got to tell me, who is he?
His mother. His mother. She was down there changing the air filter. There's nothing on the bike she can't do. I said, ma'am, how did you get involved with this? She said, out of necessity. She said, my son grew up racing. If I didn't do it, we'd have to pay somebody to do it. So she was out there tightening spokes, changing the air filter. Says she doesn't really like to wash the bike, but she likes doing everything else.
I heard her. She made a comment to Anthony DiBisilio, the Husky race manager, this morning and said, hey, Anthony, I'm sorry about not washing the motorcycles. That's just not my thing.
She's just dispelling every stereotype and every myth out there. We'll let the boys clean, okay?
Yeah.
Let the boys clean. She's going to do the wrenching. Gotta love it. Big shout out to her and all the lovely ladies of this series. As it looks like right now we take a look at, what are we focusing in on? Is that the 118? That is your leader, Mason Siemens, an open 250, really flying around at a brisk pace. You look at the running order right now. Kai, Cody, Colton, Cole rounding out your top 5. Boy, this field is stacked. JP Alvarez back for another season as well, currently running 8th. So many of these competitors, too, with Supercross experience, motocross experience. I love walking around the pits, and you talk to some of these competitors about their resumes. Like Cole Martinez, for instance. There's a guy that's been top 15 in motocross and Supercross, 250s and 450s.
Yeah, that guy, Cole Martinez is one of like the 15 guys that have been out there in the motocross scene. You mean, look at the top 10 right now in the Open 250 class. Like Caiello, top 10 or top 15 in a Pro 250 race. Colton Eck, he's qualified for 450 night shows in Supercross. I mean, these guys, JP Alvarez easily could go out and race a motocross race if he wanted to. The 450 guys basically have come over. The 250 guys are coming over. This is the place that they come to gain more speed, is the way I look at it.
Yes, you certainly have to be well-versed to succeed out here. And, I think last year a few of the riders might have been Ryan Surratt, who told me at 29 Palms, he said, hitting a big triple is one thing. You need a lot of courage. But he said to hold these things wide open for a continuous period. I know I always like listening to interviews with Ryan Hughes, who is one of the best coaches out there. And I remember he was talking with Brian Deegan a while back, and he said, these 450s are just too fast. It's not usable power. He's like, we're skilled dirt bike riders, and they scare us. But here we are out here in this series. They're holding them wide open. In fact, those Yamahas, that is actually the what do they call it? The FX model.
Yeah, the off-road model.
FX model has a wider gear ratio. They don't need it in Supercross or motocross because they rarely see fifth. But out here, it helps them get a little bit more speed.
Yes, and most of these bikes actually have that extra gear, that longer transmission because of how fast these race courses here are on the West. And that Yamaha, I tell you what, that Yamaha is one of the fastest bikes stock. Now you give it a little bit more power to see where it goes. Oh my gosh! Good luck holding on.
That's why I told you guys, if you are interested in this sport, these bikes are so good from the factory. Make sure you go down and see your folks, see your local Beta dealer, see your local KTM dealer, see your local Kawasaki dealer, Honda, Suzuki, whatever you want to do. Get out there, Yamaha, and check out what motorcycle you like the best. Now, in terms of modifications that they do here, they beef up the disc guards. They put the IMS oversized tanks on them. There's some wire in use. There's longer rads. There's suspension tricks. There's chassis tricks. These individual teams, especially pro teams, will use everything at their disposal to dial it into the rider.
Yeah, the off-road scene, you really need almost an off-road motorcycle. Just like a Supercross bike, there's all kinds of needs and all kinds of wants. But the off-road, man, it's a complete different setup. Suspension's one of the key factors in these bikes. We got Derek coming through the pits right here. Again, it looks like Dante actually might be closing in a little bit. I think I just saw his front tire coming through. But, again, Derek's really putting some laps together. But as I was saying, these bikes are set up for this terrain and pretty much only this style of racing, just like a Supercross or motocross bike would be.
Dare running his own race. Take me inside the mind of Dare right now. You got the best start out of anybody. Your 2024 is off to a great start, but somewhere behind you, lurking, is that 4-time champion, and you've got to hold him off for another hour plus. From a sports psychology standpoint, what do? You'd like to say, again, you want to talk about fluff, you want to talk about cliches that say, run your own race, don't worry about it. That's a human on that motorcycle, and he knows somebody's coming behind him. What do you think he does to try to block that out?
At the end of the day, put your laps together. You're already out front. What do you have to worry about out front? You already have the speed. put everything together and just run your own laps. If the second you start thinking about something else is the second you make a mistake, or the second you're not breathing and focusing. That's the biggest thing. If your mind is wandering, you're going to make a mistake. But you know what? These guys are professionals. They got experience. I think Dante's he's just so locked in. It's just hard to break a guy who's locked in like that.
Well said. There is the aforementioned Dante Oliveira, your 4-time defending champion here from California. Seems to be indigenous of this area. Just so many tough dirt bike riders from the Sunshine State out there. Dante, one of them, along with his brother. They practice every single day. There are no off days in Team Oliveira. Bobby Dawson told me he absolutely wears out a practice bike. They've actually got the practice bike on display. It's looking good. That's one of the benefits, though, of being on factory Red Bull KTM, that Bobby Dawson, he's a factory employee. The whole team, factory employees out of that brand new multi-million-dollar facility in Temecula. They get to share knowledge and resources with the Supercross squad, the motocross squad. Hey, I've always said, man, when you have greats that you can absorb knowledge from like a sponge, it is a huge advantage. Again, we want to thank all the great sponsors who have made this possible. Guys, if you enjoy this coverage, if you like what you're seeing on your device, in your living room, please join us in supporting those who support your sport, like Kawasaki. Thank you so much. And we will be right back after this. Stay with us, guys. We're just getting warmed up. We got a lot of racing to get through. Round number 1 of the NGPC series. We'll be back from Delano right after this.
Beta is bringing its signature rideability to motocross with the all-new 4-stroke Beta 450 RX coming this winter, and the now available Beta 300 RX, the ultimate 2-stroke weapon. A rare combination of high performance and undeniable appeal. Forget what you're used to and experience how a motocross bike is supposed to feel like. Go to betausa.com for more info. Reserve one today at a Beta dealer near you.
Family first and the next generation. I love that. That's what it's all about. As we welcome you back to round number 1, our season kickoff for the NGPC series here in Delano, California, American MX. You're taking a look at some of the best riders in the country. Jack Rapelli, Nick Garvin here with you. Here's an individual to focus on. This, I do believe, is your leader in the Pro 2 category, the 118 of the East Coast veteran, the GNCC stud. How about Mason Siemens out here doing it? Nick, we're here with no support, virtually very little support.
It was little support. So from what I gathered today from Saul from RPM KTM, he gave him a 4-race contract. Basically went back to Australia, reached out to Saul here on the West and said, hey, I want to come race the NGPC series. What can you do for me? Saul said, well, here's Caitlin's old practice bike. We'll put it together. and I'll give you a 4-race deal. I think he's proven his point.
Yes, he is getting the attention of top brass at KTM. He's got an awesome machine, an awesome team. Mason making the most of it. We'll give you an update too. Dare DiMartili continues to lead. Dante. Remember, Dante Oliveira not showing up on our score sheet, but he is number 2. Cole Martinez, I will take it, running 3 right now. Mateo Oliveira up to 4th as well. Justin Hof rounding out your top 5. Last year's winner right here, Ryan Surratt, up to 6th. We've still got a long way to go and a lot to sort out.
Yeah, we have a long way to go. I want to make a point here. It's 30 minutes in the race. We still have an hour to go before the white flag even decides to be approached.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's where you're going to find out. There's a couple factors that could come into play. One, as we touched on before, people that may have gone out too fast, that may hit that proverbial wall, and also people that may be pacing themselves that are going to find that other gear. Maybe somebody like Mateo Oliveira is ready to click it into high gear and start coming up through the pack.
Yeah, my curiosity is going to spike when we start seeing who's strategically going to do the pits. The pits are a big factor in this. It might not seem like a lot, gas, fuel, whatever, but it actually comes down to who can get in and out the quickest when your guys are this close in a race.
Oh, and it makes a huge difference. If they watched our live broadcast last year from Prim, we thought we had it figured out. These very smart crew chiefs and mechanics thought they had it figured out, right. And gas mileage was miscalculated. We saw people running out of gas with just a few turns left to go.
Yeah, if you guys remember from that race, we had old Cole Martinez was in 7th. They pit him twice, and guess who won the race?
Cole Martinez. And talking to a lot of those guys afterwards, I said, how did so many talented, smart teams miss it? They said it got so loamy, and these bikes must have been burning so much more fuel getting through there than they did. All their calculations were off. So based on what we saw there may have been some lessons learned. You may see some teams err on the side of caution. Just like NASCAR, if you're leading, if you're out in front and you're comfortable, they may roll the dice. But if you're back there running 6th, 7th, why take the risk? Fill it up.
Yeah, why take the risk? Fill it up. The heat and the loam of the dirt really playing a factor. These guys are twisting that throttle wide open. Race pace is a lot different than practice pace. So going off calculations of race pace versus practicing, well, you're going to burn a lot more fuel on the race pace.
As we continue to watch these uber talented riders make their way around 6 miles of beautiful rolling hills here at American MX. What an awesome facility. Tapping it wide open. There's one of those sections where you can really gain a lot of speed. Wide open 5th gear on a 450, heavily modified, heavily built, 80+ miles an hour. Yeah, buddy. Hang on. That's what we're watching right now. Some very, very fast racing. This, no doubt, one of the fastest tracks on course. It was interesting, too. I had an opportunity to talk to Bobby Bell, one of our sponsors from Precision Concepts, who's very, very busy. He's just helping everybody he can out here today, suspension-wise. He says, if somebody has a fork seal they need changed, I'll change it. But he gets so technical, I asked him, I said, what is the key here? He said, it's high speed and choppy. It is not taxing on the bottom. You don't have to worry about the bike bottoming out. So what you're doing from a suspension standpoint, you want faster rebound, softer compression. That way the bike is freer. That way the bike is just flowing. And that is some of the science and technology it takes to dial these bikes in. A little shim, a little bit of valving can make all the difference between a leading performance and a bike that is miserable to ride.
Oh, yeah. Bob Bell's been around for years. He was a leader of the Honda team back in the day. Bruce Ogilvie, Johnny Campbell. Lots of championships won with Bob Bell. Precision Concepts has been around this game for, I would say a good 35 years. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to set up bikes. You know what? Bob Bell developed one of the best off-road racers that ever contested in this series, and that's Robbie Bell.
It is, and hopefully we see Robbie back at this season. Would love to see him, as we said. We hope to see that Kawasaki team back real soon as well. Precision Concepts, they are a great group of guys. Now, you want to talk about a series that will throw a lot of curveballs, that's a lot of diverse, because everything I just told you about this Blue Groove track, throw all that out the window, because you go to places like Blythe and Havasu, the opposite. It'll be deep sand. The bikes will be bottoming. The suspension setup will be completely different.
Yep. And that's what makes this series so diverse. And it really doesn't. How do you say? one guy isn't the best everywhere. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's what's awesome about this series. You got Mason Simmons coming through, still leading the Pro 2 class on his RPM KTM. He looks comfortable, Jack. He really does. I mean, look how he's opening those corners up, nice and slide, throttle control, elbows up, and just really making it look easy.
I'd love to know how he compares this to the GNCC series as well back east. That's kind of the monster and the stalwart back there. This, the top series on the West Coast when it comes to this form of racing. The only thing you don't have to worry about here is smacking off of trees. You're not going to see, you don't have to do too much woods racing in this series. But I'll tell you, the GNCC racers, they don't get this kind of speed that you guys get.
No, not at all, man. I went and did a GNCC about 2 years ago. I got to tell you, completely different series compared to what you're in third and fourth gear half the time. Out here, you're in fifth and sixth gear most of the race.
It is a fast gung-ho series as we give you a look at our Open Pro standings. There's Dante showing up now, second as the gap continues to close. Dare, though, doing a great job. He put in the off-season training. He rebounded from the broken arm, and right now he leads the way. The question is, can he hold on to that lead with the four-time champion hot on his heels?
Yeah, that's the biggest question, right? I mean, you get out front, you're setting that pace, but how much did you save for the later part of the race when you got a four-time champion behind you who knows how to go fast the entire race? He knows how to, scientifically, he knows how to break down the race at the end of the day.
Yeah, and Dante told us, he gave us the right answer. He said that the pressure is higher and it's going to be harder, but you got to believe when you're a four-time series champ, the amount of confidence you must have. He has been there, done that. He's been down and out before. He's had adversity he's had to overcome, and he has always found a way.
Yeah, if you're looking at the screen right now, Dare just took a look to see who's there, and yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I told you. I knew it. Remember, guys, those are human beings. I can hear some of my sports psychology friends in my ear. They'll tell them to get in a tunnel right now. They'll say, hey, the boots, the helmet, the bike, the gas, none of them knows Dante's coming. But let's be real. Dare is a human being, and he knows the top dog in this series is hunting him down. He looked back. He saw him. Probably as a mechanic, as his father, Brody, I believe, Brody DiMartelli, who's here with him, probably does not want to see his son looking back.
No, you don't want to be looking back. If you're looking back, you're getting a little tired, or you're trying to grab the air that you lost in those opening laps. You're tensing up. And you know what? Like I said, it's really hard to beat a guy like Dante on something like this. These guys, Dante practices on virtually hard-packed terrain. You can see how fast he closed that. He was up 25 seconds, I'd say. He closed that up in almost a lap and a half.
This is his forte. We'll give you a look at Open 250 as well. Mason Siemens continues to lead. We'll see if Kai Aiello has an opportunity. Cody Simpson, Brock Bennett, JP Alvarez, Colton Ayek, Wyatt Matson as well, rounding out your top seven. A lot of tough racers here. A lot of young up-and-comers as well who we expect to see in the 450 someday.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things is that these guys are going to move up at some point. But I want to give a special shout-out to the number 3 right now. He's 6'3", Cody Simpson. These guys are riding a YZ250 two-stroke, okay? These guys are on – most of his competition are on good-built 250Fs. He's family and friends kind of program. His dad's out here. They have a box van. He's got two two-strokes. I mean, this guy is literally invested in wanting to be on the podium. And, dude, he's running right behind second place right now.
You got to love that underdog story because, I mean, it is very cool, and it's humbling to see some of the resources and technology these factory riders have. But when you see a guy do it out of a van with his family, it makes it all the more special. And, again, a testament to how good these bikes are right out of the box.
Yeah, right out of the box. And you don't see two-strokes really that often in the pro classes anymore. They're so far in advance with the four-strokes. But, man, this kid right here, Mason, he is really riding comfortable right now. And that's why he's out front in the Pro 250 class.
Yes, he is. Interesting line choice. He's trying some new things, and you can try whatever you want as long as you stay inside the markers. That is the rule here. You will be penalized if you do not stay inside the markers, and trust me, our referee, Justin Schultz, race referee, he's right on top of it as always.
Yeah. A funny story about Justin Schultz. He married me and my wife.
No way.
I swear to God, he was the guy. He was the guy that married us too. He introduced us.
Wow. Well, the man of many talents. Hopefully it works out for your wife. She'll be happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
Our race referee today also, he can marry you. How about that?
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of racing couples out here, too, which is neat when I cruised around the pits, and it's neat to see the support that everybody gets. I know that, as we said, Jack Simpson all the way from Melbourne, Australia. He has a young lady out here supporting him, also all the way from Melbourne. She's loving her time in the United States, hoping her man can do something special and bring it home this year. Something about Cole Martinez I want to tell you, too, is he is sick. He is fighting a cold. He did not even want to shake Craig Hunter's hand, unless that was just an excuse. But I think he was really sick. So, but we know sometimes as an athlete, your best performances can come on those days where you don't think so. But right now, I'm sure he's fighting off some aches and pains, trying to get back in to that conversation. Dare DiMartili, though, continues to lead the way. We'll have to get an updated shot to see just how far back Dante is. Dante saw that look back as well. And that's like a shark sensing blood in the water. He knows perhaps my competition getting a little bit tired. I'm just going to take my time. And this is what makes Dante such a seasoned veteran and such an accomplished champion, too. He's not pushing it. He knows exactly how much time he has. Consistency is key. If he picks up a couple seconds every lap, that's all he really needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, you chip away, right? This is a 90-minute race. When you're chipping away at 2 seconds a lap, it goes pretty quickly. I mean, like, it just, oh, boy. We got a race right here, guys.
It's starting to tighten up. The Beta motorcycle, realizing that Red Bull KTM is inching closer and closer, but perhaps Dare could find his second wind. You know, Dare an astute competitor as well. He knows what's coming.
Dare he finds some speed, I say, Jack.
I see what you did there. Nice pun, my friend. As we send it down Mechanics Row here in the pro pits. What a start to the season and all that gap. I'll tell you right now, what are we talking about? That looks about 30, 40 yards, not much. There is Dante, and he is moving.
Yeah, it looks like Dante's really getting comfortable right now. When you see a racer attacking straightaways like that and just rolling through, I mean, look at how gentle he is on the throttle. It's a little hard pack there, but he just setting it up perfectly. Look at that. That's a beautiful, beautiful shot of a racer that really takes control of his form and just knows when to grab that throttle and use the wheel spin to his advantage.
Yeah, this team has been unstoppable. Dante Oliveira and mechanic Bobby Dawson out there. Bobby talking about how important his precision stabilizer is. They had the bike dialed in for the high-speed chop. Dante had no complaints whatsoever.
I think Dare made a mistake, if I'm mistaken, right? Because he did. Dante looks like he's in the lead.
Dante got around.
Did Dare go for the pit? Did we miss that?
I don't know. We might have missed. Remember, with 6 miles of course, guys, sometimes we are not able to see every inch of this race, but we will give you an update. As you said, though, Dante Oliveira appears to be our overall leader right now. Somehow got around Dare. Now, Dare's close enough that did he fall? Did he? Yeah, it's hard to believe he went into the. You think it'd be further back if he went into the pits, right?
Yeah, I think he would be about 10 seconds back, but I don't know. I mean,
that's a pretty good lead.
The way it looked like, we would have grabbed it, I think, on the camera shot there. But right now, if I'm Dante, I'm putting down my heater laps to open up the gap so when I do go into the pits, I got that cushion, to leave and be in the lead when I go in and exit the pits.
That's true. It could have been a strategic pit stop. They could have sensed maybe Derek needed a quick break and Dante picking it up. Let's get that fuel now and see how this one plays out. And as you can see, it's a 6-mile course, but guess what Dante's run into right now? A little lap traffic out there, and that will certainly play a factor. They'll be getting the blue flag that we heard about in pre-race introductions. That one means pull over. Pull over. You are not on the lead lap, and the leaders are coming through.
Yeah, this track is going to be really tight when they start catching up to these guys. I mean, it's a very single line track. The race line is very direct, and there's a bunch of guys coming up that they're going to pass. It's going to really play a factor in the last 45 minutes of this race.
Well, Mason Siemens, we believe, still leading the way in the 250 category. KTM doing a Precision Concepts on board with us this year, and we're so glad you're on board with us as well. Another exciting season of racing. It is alive and well here. I believe this series will visit, Nick, you tell me, I think 4 different states this year?
I believe so, yeah. They're going to be visiting 4 different states and 4 different, facilities, which is, like I said, the diversity in this series is incredible.
Everywhere from 29 Palms, which is known as one of the fastest tracks, where they'll just be pinning it, to the iconic and legendary Glen Helen motocross track. We'll be there a little bit later on. All the stops that you've come to expect here. And the traditional summer break when it gets a little too hot, and then finish things up in the fall. But what an opportunity here. A comfortable 60 degrees in California to kick off the season. I got a little bit worried when people were telling me, hey, when you come to California, you better bring your jacket. It's not the California you were expecting. And it did get cold last night. But it has come around nicely for race day.
Oh, yeah, 32 degrees last night. Just asked me how I know that. I slept in my van and no heater and a dog. So,
oh, man.
Yeah.
I hope you brought a sweatshirt.
Yeah, one or two.
I hope you had on the NGPC pullover.
Oh, man, that's funny. A little shout-out to the Open expert guys right now. Looks like Andrew Schultz is running first, Noah Gordon in a close second, and Wyatt Cameron on the JCI Kawasaki in third. That's the class where their next step is the pro level, and they're catching some of these pro guys. These kids are 16, 17, 19 years old, and their dream is to be on the podium someday in the pro class. There's some minor support from the factories that help these guys get to that next level, but kids like Andrew Schultz grew up in this series, won multiple mini championships, and now he's looking to win his first big A championship this year, and by doing that, he's running first place.
Great shot there, Mason Siemens. You can really get an idea of just how fast he's going, moving at a brisk clip, given that 250cc Red Bull KTM, everything it got. New for 2024, new chassis, better handling on that machine. We'll keep an eye on Team Rockstar Husqvarna as well, too. Haven't talked a whole lot about them. Basically the same bike. They were showing me the differences in the pits. The difference is the subframe. That's it, where the KTM has the open air box. It's closed off on the Husky. That's what we see on the bikes of Austin Walton, Dalton Shiree. I haven't seen Dalton in the top 10 so far today. The Hare and Hound champion, the best in the desert standout. He's a guy that certainly could make a move here in the late stages, though. Yeah,
he's got the endurance to go the extra mile, that's for sure. It looks like he might have gotten a bad start, didn't really get up there like he normally can. But Dalton Shiree, you never count a guy like that guy out. I mean, you're going to see a guy, racer like him shine at 29 Palms or, Prim or Glen Helen, faster pace, open straightaway tracks, rockier, more terrain. That guy shines at tracks like this. This is more, or like that. This track is more for the tight guy, the motocross type of racer. And that's why Dare's doing so well, I believe. And guys like Ryan Surratt, Trevor Stewart, Justin Heft, they shine in tight corners. They shine in motocross-style tracks because that's what they're accustomed to.
And just as I mentioned, Austin Walton, there he is there, hanging tough in the top 10. Good for him. The Purvines Yamaha team, Trevor Stewart having a great ride as well, 7. He battled some injuries last year, a wrist and a shoulder. Talked to his dad, said that he's feeling much better this year. Look for him to play a big factor in this championship chase out of the Purvines Yamaha team.
Yeah, that Purvines Yamaha team picking up Simi Valley Cycles now. They're the presenting sponsor for Yamaha. That's big for that team. You know, Ron Purvines is he loves the sport. He sponsors guys just because he loves the atmosphere of the sport. You need guys like that in this off-road world, but it's really cool to see that Yamaha stepping up with Simi Valley Cycles and providing them with some of the small factory parts that they might need or just in general, a nice sticker on the bike.
Giving a whole host of riders an opportunity, too. I spoke to a young man under their tent, 16-year-old Racer Fry out of Las Vegas. He's running the open category. It says someday he wants to be a pro, and he's hoping to step up within a few years. I say, you keep hanging around the fast guys, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, you when you get great mentors, you look like how did Malcolm Stewart get so fast? Oh yeah, he got to train with Bubba.
Yep.
You know, how did Hayden Deegan get so fast? He had a great mentor. If you hang around great mentors, Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, and you said it right, Jack. That's how guys like Deegan make it to the top. They have great leads for their navigation in their careers, and that's how they do it, man. It's really cool. I think this is Caitlin Jacobs right here. It looks like she's running. Oh, no, that's Ava Silvestri actually on her gas.
Yes, big shout out to her. Saw her earlier today, and she was actually changing air filters and said that her training's on point. Hired a new trainer over the offseason. She's working very, very hard on her fitness, doing everything she can to catch Michaela, who we have not seen a whole lot of today. Do believe Michaela is out there leading the women's class for now on the SLR Honda Slam Life Racing. Do you know the story behind Slam Life Racing?
In fact, I do. You know, it's funny. I used to ride for Mark Samuels, back in the day. So back in the day, we had Ox Motorsports, Colton Udall and Mark Samuels. They were a team. They took over Mexico basically when JCR shut down the first time. And Colton Udall and Mark Samuels, they parted ways, and Slam Life it was a joke at first, for guys that would hit the ground pretty hard, and then the old Slamuels came out of nowhere, and then now you got SLR Honda, and it just stuck. I mean, what a great name, Slam Life Racing.
Mark Samuels, he's a cool dude, man, 7-time Baja champion. I asked him, too, I said, why did you start this team? He said, it's simple. I was never asked to be on a team, so I decided to start my own. How about that? As we get a look at the women leaderboard, that's right, Michaela Nielsen leading the way around here. Great job, Michaela. Ava trying to chase her down. We'll see just how big that gap is between our very talented field of women out here. I want to thank Taz Insurance Services as well, Dent Doc, everybody on board. I know you have been out here working so closely with this series. How did they do it? How did the guys and ladies from NGPC go out and get all the funding to bring every round to us live? I am so impressed with what they're able to do, because I work with a lot of motorsports sanctions out there. Not everybody can do that.
No, there's this guy named Craig Hunter, and that guy is relentless.
He just won't give up until he gets it funded.
Yeah,
the Dent Doc. He'll take your dents out. He'll get the series funded. Thank you very much. And his son, pretty dang fast as well. Trevor, hopefully we get to see him competing in this series this year.
Yeah, absolutely. That guy, 4-time Best in the Desert champion with his teammate Hayden Hines. Those guys are pretty unbeatable right now in the Best in the Desert race series, and they look to do it again this year.
There's a good look at the top woman defending champion. Won it in her rookie year as a pro last year with KTM. Made the switch to SLR Honda. That is Michaela Nielsen. Coming through now. Is this the one and only Dante Oliveira? Yes, it is. There's your champ. Looks like who's out in front of him here, dealing with lap traffic a little bit still?
I don't think so. I think that was the Beta that was in front of him, if I caught that right. If we can get a camera back over there, man, I'm pretty confident I saw Dare DeMartel in front of Dante.
Yes, absolutely. We will try to keep you abreast of that just the best we can. Our team on site here doing a wonderful job. And yes, for anybody out there too, like, hey, why did we miss that lead? Why did we miss the lead? Listen, this is yeoman's work, what Mr. Craig has done to get this live broadcast to you. We don't have 45 cameras out there just yet. We're working towards it. We'll get some more sponsors, but trust me, we will give you the story of this race, as we call it, as you take a look at CA65. This racetrack sits right out there on the interstate north of Bakersfield. And here comes Dante, really having to work his way up through some traffic. I don't think that rider there was aware the leader was coming through. This could slow Dante down a little bit. We'll see how far back Dare is.
Yeah, I can't grab a grit, and it looks like it might be Dare DeMartel. Yeah, that was Dare. Dare looks like he's back in the lead right now.
Dante.
Oh, yeah, that is Dare out front.
Wait, so Dare is back out in front. Okay. Was it a pit stop? Was it a bobble? Was it a mistake? Nonetheless, we'll continue to closely monitor it, guys. That's what happens when there's a 6-mile race course. This is something they deal with in GNCC all the time, talking to those guys. Sometimes they disappear in the woods. They don't know what happens. You just got to wait till the racer emerges. Yellow flag coming out. Uh-oh. Somebody down.
That's a Yamaha scoring chicane right now, going in for another lap. That's the 200 of Dare DeMartel. He's back out front, guys.
Dare DeMartel back out in front. Beta Motorcycles leading the way as we race towards the second half of this marathon. It is round number 1 of the AMA National Grand Prix Championship Series here from American MX, Delano, California. Dare using every inch of Delano real estate on that one, roosting the hay bales.
Looks like Dare's just trying to find traction out there, Jack, man. It looks like it's getting real slick now.
He appears to have found another gear physically where it looked like he was winding down moments ago. This could be part of the strategy as well. May have tried to maybe lay back a little bit mid-race, catch his breath, refocus, and then realize, hey, it's go time. Let's go hard now.
That's all you might need in a pit stop like that. He looks like he's back to that level where he was when he had those opening laps. He's really opening up the lines, the course. He's not looking back, and he looks good.
As we give you a look high above Delano, California. Guys, we've got a long way to go. Stay with us because we're going to race to a thrilling conclusion when we return after this. The NGPC season opener. We'll be back in just a second.
Beta is bringing its signature rideability to motocross with the all-new 4-stroke Beta 450 RX coming this winter, and the now available Beta 300 RX, the ultimate 2-stroke weapon, a rare combination of high performance and undeniable appeal. Forget what you're used to and experience how a motocross bike is supposed to feel like. Go to betausa.com for more info. Reserve one today at a Beta dealer near you.
And we welcome you back to this season opener of the NGPC series here from American MX, Delano, California. 60 minutes gone. We've got about 30 minutes to a finish. And this is where we find out who put in the off-season training, who's going to take it to the next level, who's going to taste championship glory here in this early season. Jack Rapella and Nick Garvin here with you. Nick, can Dare hold on?
Oh, man, you better hope so. I mean, you got freaking lion coming ready. He
Sure
can taste
does.
the blood in the water, and Dante's hard to beat. And if Derek can keep this together, man, this is going to be another contender in this already contended series that anyone can win on any given day.
Yeah, we've already traded the lead a couple times, and that has got to be a bit humbling. And there is a tough, talented, deep, hungry field coming behind Dare, and it all begins with your 4-time defending champion, Dante Oliveira. We're setting up for a very, very thrilling finish. And again, just to put this in perspective, guys, a motocross race would be over. 2 motocross races would be over. We're only 2/3 of the way through this thing. You get done with your first 60.
The hammer, the last lap of the race will be his fastest lap of the race. That's incredible.
That tells you you're doing something right, and that is the hallmark of the 4-time champion. But we'll see. Derek could make a very, very big statement here and let everybody know he's for real, he's healthy in 2024 if he could hang on and win this race. But like I said, guys, we still have so much more to get to with a half an hour left to go in this race. At least a half an hour. That's the way the rules go. It's a minimum of 90 minutes. If it's 30 seconds short of 90 minutes when they cross the finish line, they will throw the white flag. They will not end the race there. It has to be a minimum of 90 minutes. And there's Dante Oliveira right there. Is he out in front? Where's Dare?
Right there. He's right behind him.
Dare's right behind him. So Dante takes over the lead. They have traded back and forth. What great racing that we're witnessing here at American MX.
All right, so if I'm Dare DeMartell right now and I see Dante right in front of me, all I'm going to do right now is find his lines and trail him. You obviously have the speed to stay there, and lead this race, but what is Dante doing differently than Dare?
And Dante appears to be opening a little bit of a cushion as well. I've said that a few times, though, today, and they have traded the lead back and forth as we give you a look at the updated Open Pro results brought to you by Kawasaki. Dante Oliveira, Dare DeMartini, Cole Martinez, Justin Hof, Mateo Oliveira not far back there as well. Last year's winner, Ryan Surratt, followed by Trevor Stewart, Tyler Lynn, Jack Simpson, and Austin Walton. Your top 10 right now as they run with about 30 minutes remaining in this race. Dante really feeling the flow. That machine hooking up, the suspension dialed in. Another Boffo performance for the man out of Red Bull KTM. Hard to tell from here, but it sure doesn't look like fatigue is set in at all, doesn't it?
No, I was just about to mention, he looks like he's actually more smooth than he was originally when he first got the lead the first time. It looks like he's just finally settling into a good pace. Like I said, I would not be surprised if Dante actually pulls away. But if I'm Dare, I want to be right there. I want to show the champ that I'm here to win this race. I'm here to be in the championship all year long. And you know what? I might be your new competitor, so look out.
Yeah, for when you're conditioned at that level, just like some great marathon racers will tell you, they actually get better as it goes on. They get a little warmer. They get a little looser. Those pre-race and early race jitters are gone. Now they know exactly what they have to do. As we take a look at the women's standings, Michaela Nielsen, there she is with the ponytail hanging over that number 1 on the SLR Honda. Seems like the switch over to red has not phased her one bit. I have not seen Ava come into picture on the gas. A nice lead here for Michaela to start the season.
Yeah, absolutely. She looks really good. But, man, the battle at the front is really starting to pick up. I mean, look at these two. They're whipping the bikes. That tells me they're loose. There's no arm pump setting in. They're not fatigued. They're ready for battle, and Dare's really here to show Dante what's up. I mean, look how close. He closed that little cushion back up in just that 5 or 6 corners.
And that's what's so cool when you talk about a 6-mile diverse racetrack. I think we see points where Dante really opens it up, but then there's points where Dare is faster. Like right there, look at that lead start to evaporate. Dare to the outside using every inch of this racetrack. That Beta hunting down the KTM. We've got a battle here, guys, and we've still got 28-plus minutes left to go.
Dare's really utilizing the traction, and Dante's covering those insides, but that's letting Dare hold the throttle on a little bit longer in those corners, and this race course, it's so slick you have to. So if I'm Dante right now, I need to open up my lines and really get back to where I was. Use those lines, stop covering the inside, and just start hammering away.
Through the Yamaha chicane for timing and scoring. Dante off, Dare gives chase, and if you are one of the folks with Team Beta, how could you not be ecstatic over this? Because your guy, Dare DeMartini, after suffering a broken arm last year, is hanging with the best in the world, the 4-time defending champion. Not only hanging, but oftentimes leading and closing in. The question is, can he find a way to solve the riddle here? Dante seems so smooth on those fast sessions. I think Dante really likes the wide-open, full throttle sections. That seems to be where he pulls away a little bit.
And that's gonna be the benefit factor for an off-road guy who grew up racing off-road. Now, if I'm Dare DeMartini, I'm a guy who came from motocross. I'm a guy who raced moto, supercross. I can get those corners down. I can match him on the off-road stuff, but I'm going to pull a little bit of time on the corners, and that's what we're seeing here. You see Dante open up a nice gap on the fast stuff, but we get back to the tight areas. You're seeing Dare pick up, chip away at the corners. He can corner pretty much faster than Dante at this on this racetrack right now, and I got to say that because that's what's true.
That Beta 480RR hooking up. What a great shot there, too. Give you an idea. Some of the elevation here that we see rounding that corner as we keep an eye on the Open 250 category as well. Mason Siemens, the GNCC expert out there trying to court KTM, trying to get that long-term deal, whips it, feeling good. One of the few places where you can catch some air out here on this very old-school European-style motocross track. He is looking smooth.
Looking smooth, and I mean, what a story, taking a chance on himself. 4-race deal. Looks like he's going to be here for the series. I mean, this guy, he's given it everything he has, and that's what it might take for some of these guys. It's an underdog story. It's a heartfelt story, and I mean, he's really using this opportunity to show the world who he is.
As for Dante Oliveira, the Hollister, California native, trying to continue to put another notch in his belt, take home another trophy. We'll see what he can do. Mason Siemens looks like another individual, too, that this is how you attract attention of those top executives and step up to the 450 category. He appears to have the speed today to run with just about anybody.
Yeah, and if I'm factory KTM and I'm Auntie Cohen, who runs the off-road side of KTM and Husky and whatnot, if I'm seeing the speed out of this guy, I'm going to try and give my best to him. He's representing KTM in the 250 class at the front. This is his first time here. He's never been to these racetracks, and he's leading this race by a mere 45 seconds. He deserves some support, I believe, and there you got Kaya right there in second, a guy who's been a part of the series now for 4 years, running strong in second. He's raced these race courses before, and, he's another contender. It's just he can't match Mason today so far.
Well, I'm sure coming out of here with a podium performance would not hurt his feelings one bit. It is a long season. Every point counts. He's the aforementioned racer where I told you earlier on. His mom out here is his mechanic, Kai Aiello. What a great story. We see so many father-son combinations. You don't see many mother-son combinations, but that is the case for Kai Aiello.
Yeah, I want to make a little note on that. Another heartfelt story. His dad passed away, I believe 2 years ago. Rocky, they do the Ride for Rocky every year now. It's a little fundraiser for him. And Rocky, I believe he worked at KTM Husky group. Now his mom working at Husky. I mean, it all makes sense at the end of the day. Having his mom as the #1 supporter and Kai out here running second, it's a feel-good story.
It certainly is. As this family keeps their rich history and their legacy surging ahead, moving forward. Kai currently running in the #2 spot. And, we look at some of these gaps, too. Let us not forget, one mistake when fatigue sets in by the leader changes everything. Not only just a physical mistake, but something on the motorcycle, running out of fuel. Anything can happen here. We've seen it time and time again. Until that checker flag waves, do not take anything for granted.
Yeah, I'd never give up on that. Mason Simmons is a great example. He led all of the works race last weekend. A wheel bearing went out with 2 laps to go, and he lost it. Didn't get to finish, none of that. And, again, he's riding Caitlin Jacobs' old practice bike. Okay, he's not riding a factory motorcycle or any by means. That bike could be worn out. Kai's in the perfect position to take advantage if something does happen. And that's not to talk bad on them. That's just how it is.
When you push these machines to their utter limits, sometimes things happen, and that's why it was cool to go back there. And I actually spoke with Ryan Boyd, who's a brand new team member on KTM this year. He's the mechanic for Mateo Oliveira, and he said every bolt gets touched every single time he's out on a racetrack. He was tightening up some spokes, and he said they push these bikes so hard, sometimes I'll find a spoke that needs tightening.
I mean, that's the wheels are the most abusive, right? I mean, at the end of the day, they have to check these bikes out every single race. They just ride them to their full capabilities, and especially out here when you're hitting 5th, 6th gear, potholes, just general racing. They're hard on these bikes.
Beautiful look high above American MX. It is round #1. We thank you for joining us so much here. Big shout out to Precision Concepts and everybody who made it happen. We are live all this year. NGPC coming back in a big way. Who's going to strike first with 20 minutes left to go in this race? We need an update, too, on our Dare and Dante battle, which has been back and forth for much of the day.
I'm trying to grab a hold of who these guys are right here. But whoever these guys are, they're having a great battle as it is right now. They're making their way back over to the motocross track.
Yeah, and as I said, big shout out to everybody out there. If we have not been able to focus on your particular battle, it doesn't matter if you're running 15th, 16th, 17th. There's great racing all over this track, and I know that's something that the fans are loving. That's what's cool is you can just pull right up here to the fence with the cooler, the barbecue grill, have a day of it, and I guarantee you'll get to see some great battles like the one right here.
Yeah, this is a good battle. That looks like actually the factory Husqvarna of Austin Walton. There's your number one, Red Bull KTM's Dante Oliveira. Let's see where Dare DiMartell is to see if he caught up. It looks like he actually opened up a nice gap here.
Mason Siemens still leading the way in Open 250, but right now Dante, the red number one, he's the man leading your way. Hunting down championship number 5 for the 24-year-old who has been riding since he was 5 years old. Grew up in District 36, and boy, he has certainly carved out a reputation as one of the best in the world.
Oh, yeah, they're still 1 and 2 right there, Jack. I mean, again, it looks like Dare's matching those laps that Dante's putting together, and this is going to be a really good race. We got 25 minutes left before that white flag comes out. Anything can happen right now. This is where all the training comes together. This is where all those practices on classifieds, all the line choices you learn throughout the weekend comes together. Who has a little bit more than the other rider? Who has a line that the other rider's not using and can make that, close that gap or open that gap?
I think the fact that Dante hasn't been able to shake Dare either says something. Dare, pending a mistake, let's hope not, he appears to be there for the long haul. He appears to be settling in for a battle here because we thought there were points where we thought Dare was fading, but look at this. Dare seems to be picking back up a little bit. And even though Dante's the 4-time champion, this still is race number 1. It's been a long time since we've done this. So you never know who could be showing a little bit of signs of rust.
Yeah, absolutely. The looseness, what I like, though, is the looseness of Dare DiMartell. He's loose on the motorcycle. He's not riding 10s. You see how aggressive he is exiting these corners. I mean, he is right in that dust. See, I mentioned that earlier. Dante was hovering the inside there. Notice how he went back out to the outside, and he's using the speed. He's not covering the insides anymore. That is where Dare was making up all that time. It looks like he caught up on that and is starting to get back into his routine and flow.
Dare on the red and blue Beta motorcycle that you're taking a look at right now. Dante out in front on the orange Red Bull KTM. And as we saw there from that great in-depth coverage, one problem for Dare is that vision is starting to go away. It's starting to get a little dustier. Wasn't very dusty this morning, but right now look at the roost coming off of Dante's bike. That is going to make it more and more difficult for him to get clean vision to try to find a way around.
Yeah, Dante's really putting in a hard charge. I know he's trying his hardest right now to shake Dare. He just can't seem to do it, and that's fair. I mean, Dare has really put in a good effort, and last weekend really brought his confidence back up, and it's showing today. I mean, this guy is a 4-time NGPC champion. I believe he's one of the last guys to beat Taylor Robert at his height as well in the Works Racing Series.
That's right. Also has succeeded in the Works Series. Very proud of that. Highly decorated resume. I'd like to see what Dante could do out there on a pro national on the motocross track. I think he would certainly be able to hang.
I mean, did you watch Paula last year?
Yeah.
He was incredible.
He sure was.
Yeah, he lost the front fender in the first moto, and he's still charged to the 15th.
Still charged to the front. So it'd be interesting to see. I think he's still got a big enough window, and he's young enough that sky's the limit. And look at that Beta motorcycle of Dare using every single inch of this racetrack, taking some pages out of road racing there, hitting the apexes, gaining as much speed as they possibly can. A great road racer told me one time they just coach you to try to make drag strips out of every single turn. You want the longest straightaway you possibly can. You want to carry as much momentum and as much speed as you can through those corners.
It's all about rolling those corners right now in these tight areas. They have to keep off the brakes. I mean, that's how these guys are. They're so smooth. They're so diligent. They're so precise. When it comes down to those tight stuff, like you're saying there, Jack, it's all about rolling, right?
It really is. I mean, we've talked about how this is a combination of Supercross, Motocross, GNCC. I would argue a little bit of road racing out there as well from the inside-outside that you're seeing.
Yeah. Hey, a notable thing I want to mention right now is the SVC Simi Valley Cycle Racer of Yamaha Purvines Racing. Justin Heff has made his way into third place.
Shout out Justin Heff. You can pick up a lot of positions when the rest of the field starts to fade. When they get tired, this is gut check time. This is when all the training, all the hard work in the gym comes into play. Who can keep going strong or even get better in the final stages of this race?
Yeah, Dante is wide open right there, guys. I mean, look at that. He just opened up a gap. You got, I mean, Dare he's just not breaking Dare at all, and that's so impressive, and it's got to be such a big thing for the Beta team today.
KTM digging in with the oversized tank, the long radiator, the precision stabilizer, the beefed up disc guard, all the tricks.
Yeah, liquid moly Beta, by the way.
How about that? And there's a shot at Mason once again. What a performance he's put on. Seems to be right at home here. This really seems to be complementing his skill set.
Comfort is not an issue out here for him.
No. Now he just has to navigate around lap traffic and try not to get roosted too bad. 6 mile course. You wouldn't think lappers would be too much of an issue, but that is how fast a lot of these competitors are going. That's how quick they come up through the pack, especially with a staggered start. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, when you have a course like this, it's so fast. The A guys are good, right? And no disregard to the A guys, but these guys are just 2 levels ahead of them in the pro class, and they're able to catch those guys within 45, 50 minutes. Especially when you're chipping off about 15 to 25 seconds a lap quicker. It kind of goes by quick. The start as well. I mean, 2-minute difference between the A guys and the pro guys. There's a lot that goes into it, especially on this race course.
There is your Open Pro Top 10. Not a whole lot of movement for now. Everybody holding their position and all eyes on the D&D show. Dante and Dare, who will take the checker flag. We're about 15 minutes away from finding out as we give you a look high above American MX. Look at this place packed. Vendor row, the pro pits packed, the amateur pits packed, and that's what you love to see. What a great way to start the season from this beautiful 60-degree California day. It has just been an incredible weekend all around.
Yeah, a nice notable mention to the SoCal MC guys, and I think they got about 1,500 entries this weekend. They're just absolutely soaring. The series is doing great. A great first round, and it's only going to improve from here. I mean, if you're on the West Coast and you're not racing the NGPC series, you need to give it a shot. Come on out, family-friendly environment, and you know what? It's a great weekend overall. I'd spend my weekends if I could. If I even wasn't racing, I'd be spending my weekends out here.
I always said it's a wonderful way to grow up, to be involved in a sport like this where it teaches you hard work, discipline. You've got to get out there and train. You've got to get out there and work on your motorcycle. You got to learn to go get the funding, like that young lady, Michaela. That was not Ava moving in, was it? I heard you say, is that somebody was on her tail.
I don't know if it was. Maybe it was the same gear. I can't. Nah, I don't think so. I think Michaela's just in cruise control right now.
That's just Michaela out there outrunning some of the boys, huh?
Oh.
Good job for her on the SLR Honda. Great performance.
And, I got to say, with her, it's so hard to switch from a motorcycle like a KTM manufacturer, aluminum chassis, right? You're going, or a steel chassis, and now you're going over to an aluminum chassis, complete different motorcycle. And Jack, she already looks so comfortable. She looks better on this motorcycle than she did on her KTM.
Yeah, she told me there wasn't much of an adjustment period. There wasn't much of a learning curve. She said it was that good. They made a few modifications for her to help dial the bike in. Let me ask you this, though. Are you surprised, after all her success, that she decided to change teams?
I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to who offered what, right? I got to look at myself as what's going to get me there where I want to be in the next 5 years. And if Mark came to her with a better offer, which it sounds like she did, I mean, why not? Why not take a chance on yourself, go somewhere where I'm going to be, the number one girl on the team and get some real factory support.
And I think that really speaks to the rivalry and the competition shaping up between Team Honda and Team KTM. I love it. And there she is. Whoa, wait. Look at the number ones crossing paths here. Michaela and Dante, the former teammates, side by side. This will be a good visual, and you can see why I confused them earlier on. 1-1. Michaela doing the right thing right there. as fast as she is leading her respective race. She just got passed by Dante, and that means Dare coming up quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Dare could have a tough time getting through. I mean, this will give you an idea of just how fast Michaela is. Look right now. It's not like you see Dare zooming by quickly. There he is into the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and did I just see Dante look back, perhaps wondering if Michaela, his former teammate, was able to hold up Dare a little bit.
Help him out. Give him a little love there, but it looks like Dare got right around Michaela. Dare's, again, still comfort. Looks like he's still finding those lines. Again, he's riding a really, really clean race. Very impressive on that Beta 448.
We've got 10 minutes left to go. About, I'd say, a 6 or 7 second lead for Dante Oliveira, but now Dare back full throttle, back on pace after getting by Michaela. Every time I say it, though, Dante just opens that. There's Dare. He comes into view at the bottom of your screen. Dante's so tough on those fast sections, just not afraid at all to grab a handful and tap that KTM out, give it everything it's got.
Yep. He looks good. Let's see if he got a little nice whip there on that number one. He's just in comfort. He's in comfort mode right now. I'm gonna be surprised here now when we come to the finish line. Craig Hunter here made a mention to us before the race. If they get it close enough to the 130 mark, they might throw the white flag.
Really?
Yeah, so if it gets close enough, right, so we're looking about 9.5-minute lap times now as the race has progressed, with the 8-minute laps being the starting laps, but the club, just depending on time, they might throw the white flag here. I'll be shocked if they do. I've seen it before, though. Don't get me wrong. I've seen it before.
Well, we know it certainly won't be any shorter than 90 minutes, but for some of these competitors fading, they're hoping this race ends just as soon as possible.
You got Kurt Hines down there. You never know with Kurt. I mean, see, I thought that might happen. They did throw the white flag out. So they went with the time this time. Instead of getting the 130, they're going to end on the 130 today instead of getting up to the 130 and throwing the white flag.
All right, so we will still go 90 minutes with the white flag officially out. So that is it. This is the final lap. 6 more miles before we decide who's leaving Delano, California with the hardware. Will it be that man, your 4-time defending series champion, a Boffo magnificent performance all day? That is Dante Oliveira on the Red Bull KTM. Seems to be picking up. You mentioned it earlier on. Some of his best laps are his final laps, and that appears to be the case. Where is Dare? How far back is he on the Beta motorcycle? And here comes some more lap traffic. Watch out.
Oh, boy. This is going to be a really tough. This is where – yeah. See? You see how that kid's crossing Dante right there.
Oh, my. Cost him a few seconds there.
Yep, and he's only got 4 or 5 more guys ahead of him, too. I mean, that's going to be a tough go-about right now. I mean – Dare's got to deal the same thing, but as a racer, it's so frustrating when somebody does that to you, especially when you're leading the race.
No doubt. Let me defend the lapper, though, too. The other side of that is, just as I said, we don't have cameras all over 6 miles. We don't have flaggers all over 6 miles.
Nope.
You're racing as hard as you can for position in your respective category. I think clearly once that gentleman found out, hey, that's Dante, he's in the battle for the lead that I'm not involved in. Let me get out of the way. But it might take a few turns to figure that out.
Yeah, and again, no disregard to the lapper or the guys in the A class. It's just one of those things. You said it best. Not everyone is out there on the track. There's not enough flaggers to get out there. But respectively, the lappers do pull over when they look over and see who is there, unless they're getting a blue flag from the Caselli Foundation.
We are winding down. Final lap here. What a season debut it has been. A lot can still happen. 6 miles of hard-packed, fast blue groove to get through. We've got about another 4.5 to go as we give you a look high above farming country out here. Beautiful, beautiful spot in California to kick off our season.
Dante's got through those lappers a lot better than Dare has, and he's really putting on the shine right now. I mean, look at the gap now. As you can see, he got through those lappers way better, and he's kind of opened up a nice cushion for this last lap.
And now he knows Dare's got to do the same. The only advantage, though, for Dare is after Dante comes through, they know that somebody else fast battling for the lead is coming through as well. So they may be able to show him a little more courtesy a little quicker. That could play a factor. We'll keep a close watch on that battle for the lead. But Dante really, really opening up a nice cushion here as he knows this is it. Only has to hit each section of this track one more time before he brings home a win to start off the 2024 campaign.
Yeah, this corner right here in this next section is actually really tricky. It looks like a nice fast S corner, but this is a full 90 right here. When you got two other guys in front of you, it's really hard to get around people. I tell you what, you're on an off camber most of the corners on this track, and you guys can see in this shot right here. Look at that gap now that Dante has. I mean, he's already up in the corner, and Dare's just getting to the corner now. Yeah, that's a nice cushion.
Yeah, and again, I think you nailed it, and I think we're finding out what is so special about Dante, and maybe a little bit of secret sauce into his strategy is they somehow find a way. I know great distance runners will talk about the kick at the end.
Yep.
You will settle into a comfort zone if you're running, let's say, a 26-mile marathon, and then those great runners, the last mile and a half, the last mile, they find that kick. They know it's almost over. It's leave everything out there. That appears to be what Dante does, that he's able to get so much faster on the last lap. Get faster without making a mistake, because remember, your worst mistakes will come when you're tired and you're fatigued, but he's able to avoid those mistakes, and that's what makes him so great.
Yeah, that's why he's a champion. You avoid the mistakes. You get him out early. You get rid of them in practice. You get rid of them before the race, and you just come in and you execute. And that's what Dante's good at. He's executing a perfect race right now. He just reeled in, third, fourth, and fourth, third, and second, and put himself in a perfect position halfway through the race. And we've seen it all too many times, Jack.
Certainly has. So far, our three major classes out there, Dante Oliveira, and we have Siemens leading his respective category and Nielsen leading the women's category. That's the way it shakes up now unofficially as we bring this one to a close. As we got still some good battles all over the track. Looks like Dante hitting some more lappers. There's another good example of, I don't think, that individual out there with the yellow placards. You can see different colored placards for different categories. Unaware that is Dante behind him. Dante being very patient. Got to give Dante credit. And look, Dare is taking advantage of that. Dare closed in a lot more than I thought.
Yeah.
I think Dante was being smart there and knew that the lapper did not know it was him and didn't want to do it. You'd hate to bump bars at this point and go down and throw away a day.
I mean, when you've worked this hard this late in the race, you got yourself into the lead. It would be a shame to tangle with somebody that's not involved in your class. Unfortunately, it's part of the game. I mean, like you said, it is what it is. There's not enough flaggers out here. You got people cheering him on right there. Look at Dante. He's really giving it all he's got right now. You can see just in his body language, he's trying to put together a perfect lap, and it's tough out there. It is real tough with the lapper swooping in. It's a mental thing at the end of the day. If you can overcome it, you can put yourself in the position to get around him and don't let it affect you, you're going to do well, and he's still just putting down a great lap.
Fans cheering him on, friends cheering him on. He is the 4-time series champion out of Factory KTM Red Bull. He is the man out of Hollister, California. He is Dante Oliveira, and he is in great shape here with just a few corners left to go to try to take home a win to start the season. And look at the control of the motorcycle. Just on that back, steering with the back brake, front brake. Such great body control. Using every single inch of race course up and down off the motorcycle, weighting those pegs. That is a clinic of technique right there. You want to know how to ride a motorcycle fast after an hour and a half? Look no further than your 4-time champion, Dante Oliveira.
Yep, and it looks like he broke. It looks like he finally broke there. I mean, he finally got the gap that he needed. I mean, Dare's still right there, but it's all about breathing room, and he finally got the breathing room he was probably looking for the whole race and just couldn't break him.
That's true. You wonder if Dare maybe not even broke. Maybe broke's too strong. Is there a point, though, where Dare just says, let me not make a mistake and throw away what has been a great second performance, a podium performance?
I mean, yeah. I mean, why not? This is a 9-round series. Yeah, Dante just won, but you know what? You're in second. You're 5 points down going into the next race, or 3 points down going into the next race. I'm in second. I'm doing the best I've been in the championship. Why not take a second? Settle for second today. 8 rounds to go. I know I can run with Dante. That's confidence that you need to be in this championship when you're going up against a 4-time champion.
Yes, it is. Great aerial coverage here as we give you a clear look of 1 and 2. There is Dante whipping it out over the big jump. Dare DiMartelli following him. Dare seems to pick up a little bit in these sections. We'll see if it's enough. I don't know. He's got work to do. Dante with a nice, comfortable gap that he has earned, and he is still flying around here at a brisk pace.
God, he's so smooth.
So smooth.
Look at how he sets up those. He's just letting that rear wheel spin. Look at traction there. I'm on the gas. I'm out. I'm going to make my way to the finish line right now. Perfected a race. Incredible race by Dante Oliveira on the Red Bull KTM.
As we come up on the final Yamaha scoring chicane, take a look at this man. Guys, does it look like he's been on the bike we just hit the 90-minute mark right now. 90 minutes of hard riding. If you are new to this sport, please go out, go riding. As the wheel comes up, you'll see just how physically demanding it is. How about it for your 4-time defending champion and winner here in Delano, ladies and gentlemen, Dante Oliveira. And a big round of applause, too, followed closely by the factory beta rider of Dare. And sneaking into third, who do we have there?
That was Justin Heft.
Wow.
Who knew they were that close? There's 4th place as well. With
34.
Yeah, wow, that was a close race. I had no idea that's how close they were.
Wow, Cole Martinez, big hats off to him. He was sick today, almost gets on top of the box. Unbelievable. Great racing, and I think one thing is blatantly clear, and that is going to be, it's going to be a fight to the finish in 2024. We're going to see some excellent battles.
Absolutely. When you got guys like that, Cole Martinez and Justin Heft finishing literally 5 seconds behind the leaders, that's going to tell you that's the writing of the book of this year's NGPC. There's more than 5 or 6 guys that can win this race.
That's right, and here comes Siemens, I still believe, leading our 250 category on his way to bringing this one home. What a day it has been for KTM. Big shout out to that whole team watching us in Temecula, California. I know it is a big deal for them. They love this series. This is right in their wheelhouse. As I can tell you, I know this 100% just as important to them as Supercross, what goes on out here. They love the Grand Prix series. They love the GNCC stuff, and they're really proud of how far KTM has come in the last few years.
Yep. Yeah, they've really taken over, a lot of the series. It's really awesome to see KTM USA's everywhere. Everywhere you look, you got a KTM, banner looking up. We got the pro guys starting to reel in right now. Thinking that Mason Simons might have got first today in that Pro 250 class.
Snow on the mountains behind us. Some of the beauteous scenery here in California on what started as a chilly morning. Going to try to bring it home. The GNCC expert. Welcome to the West Coast. He appears to be right at home here in this series. Could he be a major player for the 250 title? Could that 4-race deal quickly get extended? We'll find out.
I mean, Jack, if you're a team manager, what are you doing with this guy?
I don't know. You got people, the great Roger DeCosta and those folks over there. Maybe they want to keep him hungry. Maybe they say, make this young man earn it. Whatever they did, it worked because he's a few turns away from bringing KTM home the 250 win as well.
Yeah,
very impressive.
Yeah, KTM taking over 1-1 today. Just what better way? If I'm Timmy Wagon, race manager, I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. That's really big for KTM. Awesome to see them dominating in both classes today. There he is, grabbing that checkered flag.
Your winner in the 250 category, another one for KTM. Congratulations, Mr. Siemens. Gets it done. Quick chat with our NGPC official down there, and a congratulations, and I'm sure he's quickly looking for the water bottle to get rehydrated after a grueling performance out there. As we've got much more coming. Nick, this has been such an interesting round. What are your big takeaways from what you have seen so far? Clearly, we know Dante still the man to beat, but I think there's a lot of other interesting storylines that we can look forward to all year long.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at Dante here, he's a 4-time champion. I mean, he did exactly what a champion would do. He hunted down the prey, and he won. I mean, at the end of the day, Justin Heff, Dare DiMartell, Cole Martinez, those are the players for the championship in the long run. Those guys have won races, can show up any day of the week, but we still have guys like Mateo Surratt, Tyler Lynn, Trevor Stewart. I mean, I don't know if I take anything major away except that our championship contender came to play today, or championship winner came to play today.
Yeah, you can say that again, 100%. It is going to be tough for this field to knock off the 4-time defending champion. Clearly, he has done his work over the offseason, knows exactly what to do, and he put that on perfect display. Also, speaking of defending champions, I think Michaela proved she's going to be just as tough to beat on the SLR Honda as we await her finish. She's not too far back as some of the open experts finish here. And some of the top 250 racers. I did not see if Kai had finished yet. Kai Aiello, I believe he was in line to take a second as long as he didn't go down. A good start to the season for him as well as a lot of the yellow placards coming in now.
Yeah, Kai Aiello, and again, he's on a factory Husqvarna supported ride. And it's good for Husqvarna to get on the podium in the Pro 2 category. The Rockstar guys weren't up at the front today, but you can't count guys out like Austin Walton, Dalton Shirey not to be on the podium at some point this year, if not winning races again.
100%, as the sweet smell of race fuel and thoroughly exhausted dirt bikes fills the air here in Delano, California. This beautiful countryside. I am so impressed. My first time ever coming to this facility, it has far exceeded my expectations. They have so much potential here. It is just a wonderful, wonderful racetrack. Run a lot of local practices here, too, and they say the local motocross racers, they love it. They come out here, and every chance they can get, every chance this great track is open.
Yeah, Farmer Timmy down there loads up his son John, and they come out to the track after a long week of work and get some fun to play, you know what I mean?
That's right, as that checkered flag continues to wave, a sight for sore eyes for some very, very tired riders. That is for sure. Round number 1 of the NGPC. And I believe here in just a few moments we're going to hear from today's winner. We gave him a second to get cooled down, get hydrated. That's what you need after 90 minutes of pushing yourself to the extremes. That is for sure. As we're going to hear from the 4-time defending champion just a little bit. He's stepping in right now after an amazing performance. Ladies and gentlemen, in the booth with us right now, let us congratulate the one and only Dante Oliveira. Dante, you did it, man. Congratulations. Take me through what was a very, very impressive performance for you.
Thank you. I didn't get off to the best start. I mean, it wasn't a terrible start, about 4th, 5th place or so. And, man, the track was fast. It was icy. You were sliding and just backing it into some of those corners into the side of the track. And, yeah, it was fun. You had to hang it out. I chased down my brother, then Cole Martinez. Then it took me like about 3 or 4 laps to reel in Dare. And then we started going at it. He pitted. I got around him. Then put a charge on because I pitted the following lap. He snuck right by me as I was pulling out the pits, and yeah, the chase was on again, and I ended up coming around one of the left-handers, got a little better drive, and snuck around him on the inside, and but he didn't let me have it too easy. He was right there for the rest of the race and made it fun.
He made you earn it. He wasn't giving you a thing. I'm glad you just gave us the story of the race, too, because we could see you trading positions, and we weren't sure if there was a pass or it was pit strategy. What do you think it was that prompted Dare's team to go in first? They thought that would play into their hand?
I'm not sure. I think the Beta always ends up pitting a lap before us. Sometimes they even go a lap after. I'm not too sure. But, yeah, me and Bobby, we had a quick pit, splashed a little 30-seconder, and the charge was back on. So, yeah, props to my team, props to everybody out there. Dare, you rode awesome. That was a fun race.
Well, it was an amazing show, and something when you watch the broadcast back that we talked about that is special about you is you seem to get faster towards the end. You find that other gear, that kick at the end, and we watched you controlling the bike with the brakes and sliding out and using every inch of racetrack, and it looked like you were going just as fast at the end as you were at the beginning. How are you able to do that?
My trainer, Jared Brecker, we work our butts off, so I feel great on the bike, and fitness is at an all-time high. So just during the week, bicycle and the gym. So hats off to my trainer, Jared Brecker, for sure.
Well, you certainly put in the work over the offseason. One thing we noticed, too, though, a few of those top contenders weren't that far behind. Do you think that's maybe a preview of what's to come this year, and we're going to see a nice, tough battle?
Let's battle all year. I mean, they rode great, so we'll see what from round to round how it goes, but all in all, stoked with the round one.
Excellent. Dante, anybody you'd like to thank here before we let you go?
The whole FMF Red Bull KTM team, Scott Goggles, Alpine Star, my mom and dad, Asterisk knee braces, my girlfriend, everybody, my family that came out and watched, and just the whole team. Thank you. My trainer, Jared Becker, for sure.
Congratulations, man. How about it, guys? Dante Oliveira, your 4-time series champion. Off to a great start. Couldn't have asked for a better start than that. Congratulations, as we will talk to some of our winners in here. We're continuing to bring people off on what has been a great, great day of racing. As I think coming in now, maybe we'll see who exactly stops. And I know some of our podium finishers and also top finishers in the 250 category. And I imagine Michaela going to be in that mix as well. Second place here today. Did a great job out there on the Team Beta motorcycle. We talked about him. He put on such a great show. Let me give him the headphones. There's some headphones for you, Dare, if you want to put them in. Out of factory Beta. Dare, again, I know it was just one position short of what you really wanted, but all in all, probably couldn't ask for a much better start to the season. What do you think?
Yeah, I got off to a good start. I just put my head down, and I think I came off of the first turn in fourth and made a hard charge into the second turn and ended up in second. So I was beyond happy with that, and then ended up getting into the lead sometime on the first lap and kind of just hit my marks and did everything I could. And shout out to my mechanic, my dad. He pitted me a little early, and I thought that was a really good move because I was able to watch Dante kind of the couple laps and then get behind him. Unfortunately, he did get me back, but yeah, it was overall a great race. I couldn't be happy.
Well, that's what we noticed is watching the live coverage. There were points where Dante was faster. There were points where you were faster, and you were starting to close in on him. Where did you feel like you really had a chance on this racetrack? Where was your forte?
Man, it was hard to say just because the track was there wasn't really a big separator, on the track. It was basically just all out wide open. I would say a little bit on the motocross track I felt probably the best on. But, yeah, I just did what I could, and then Dante, I made a little mistake, actually, before the rollers on the motocross track. Dante ended up getting by me, and then I just did what I could and rode my pace, and that was it.
Well, I think no matter what, it's clear to see Factory Beta is here. They're going to be a player all year, and they can compete with anybody out there. You agree with that?
For sure. Yeah, no, we're coming to definitely be on the box each round, and I couldn't be more pumped, so I'm ready.
Well, congratulations. Who you want to thank before I let you get out of here?
I want to thank the whole Liqui Moly Beta USA, Fiji Factory Beta USA team, FXR, Mika Metals. Man, there's so many guys that support me. 60 Helmets, Liette, all my friends and family, CD Boots, and yeah, that's about it.
Big congratulations, man. Enjoy that. Second place today, Dare DiMartilli. It's going to be a heck of a season battle between Factory Beta, Factory KTM. It is going to be awesome as we crown our podium finishers, as we crown our champions here today. It has been one heck of a season opening round. Everything we thought it would be, and this track has really held up as well. I thought we might see a little bit more dust, but we didn't. And we talked about it, guys. It's going to be very, very tough in the 450 category all this year. We had some great performances from top to bottom. Let me hand the headphones over here to Mr. Justin. Here you go. A great performance for Purvine's Yamaha as well. Congratulations. The whole Purvine Yamaha team got to be very happy with the way you started the season. Why don't you take me through your performance if you could, please?
Yeah, dude. I didn't get off to the greatest start. And I got into my teammate on the first lap, so I'm going to apologize for that. But
That happens, right?
yeah, dude, just started picking them off. It was pretty dusty, so it was really hard to see. And I got a good pit, and after the pit, I started getting some good lines, and I got pretty close there at the end, but ran out of time. So I'm gonna stay home, keep training, and we're gonna have a good season.
It's a great way to start the season. If you could, too, add a little insight. We were talking about this for the viewers at home. You speak to it better than anybody because you were out there. When you have that motorcycle wide open on some of these straightaways, what is that like? A 450 tapped wide, 80-plus miles an hour. What's that experience like out there?
Yeah, surprisingly, that was the part of the track I was able to take a little breather and relax a little bit, but it's fast. You know, this is my third year racing off road, so I'm getting more comfortable with the high speeds, and my bike setup is getting easier for me, and remembering the courses have been getting better. So it is fast though.
Well, I think it's safe to say Bob Bell and all the guys got your motorcycle dialed in. Suspension must have been dialed. If you got an opportunity to rest when you're wide open, the suspension was working, wasn't it?
Yeah. I want to thank the whole Prix Racing, Simi Valley Cycles, Yamaha, Fast House, X Brand, everyone helping me out, calling my mom, my dad, my friends for coming out here and supporting me, and man, just everybody, my whole Waterworld fam, you know, keeping me in good shape, and yeah, dude, it was a really good race for me.
Great job. Keep up the good work. We look forward to seeing you all season long, guys. What a 1-2-3 battle in the 450 category. I told you it's going to be horsepower theater all season long here in the NGPC category as we bring in, I believe, our 250 champ. Is it Mr. Siemens? Yes, Mr. Siemens stepping in. Let me give you the headphones. A great performance in the 250 category. Your winner here today. We talked about you at length. Such a great story. You got to fill us in on the exact story. What we heard, you got a 4-race deal coming over with all this GNCC experience, and you stole the show in the 250s. Why don't you fill me into how you would assess your performance here today?
I thought my performance today was it was good. I got the whole shot, led every lap, and brought home my first win here in America at a national level. So I'm stoked. Yeah, I come from GNCCs the last 2 years, and unfortunately, I kind of didn't really end up with something on that side. And just as a month ago, I wasn't even really meant to be here. So shout out to RPM, Sol Jacobs, and everyone who organised to get this going. And yeah, here we are with my win, so I'm happy.
How would you compare this to GNCC racing? Because you were able to adapt so quickly. I mean, I got to believe that skill set just transferred right over.
Yeah, I mean, GNCCs, you don't get to ride the track prior, as you do here. Here you can practice Friday and Saturday. So I feel GNCCs, you got to adjust to the track straight away. And, I felt like I could do that today. I got the whole shot and I pushed for a few corners. And I realised the track was actually really, really dry and hard pack and slippery. And I just had to adjust and adapt on the move, and just experience from GNCCs to here. Completely different racing. I feel this racing is a lot more of a sprint kind of race. Obviously, it's only 90 minutes, where GNCCs are 3 hours. That's a long time on the bike, but you just got to push all the way, and that's what we did today.
Well, we wish you the best. I hope you get that long-term deal you're after. And who would you like to thank here today?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank RPM Racing Team. We're working on something to stay all year, and I think this will help for sure. I'm definitely keen on staying. So shout out to RPM Racing Team, all the sponsors associated with the team: FMF Vision, Moose Gear, City, Solid Performance Suspension, and just all the support from back home. And yeah, shout out to everyone who tuned in today to watch us, and just everyone who supports me to go racing and help me race and chase my dream in America. So thank you.
Champion in the 250 category. Great job. Enjoy this. That's why you got to seize those opportunities. That's exactly what he did, and he's making the most of it right now. Big congratulations. We talked so much about the 450 category and the battles that we will see all season long. I think it's going to be just as tough as a battle in the 250 class. We saw a lot of people flying out there. That includes Kai, who did such a great job. All the competitors out there. A second-place finish for you. Take me through it from your perspective, please.
Yeah, overall it was a good race. I'm having a solid start to the season, so I'm pumped on that. Second at Works last weekend and second this weekend at the Grand Prix. So as far as the race goes, I honestly didn't feel super good out there. I was a little disappointed on some mistakes I was making. I couldn't keep the intensity super high. Just the track was going away, and luckily I had a good start and a good couple of first laps, and I was able to kind of manage my position from there. Mason got away from me a little bit, but yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm stoked to be up here, and just got to keep the momentum going.
I would say so. Second place, and you're saying you made that probably shows what a perfectionist you truly are, that those mistakes were still good enough to get you on the box. When you feel like you're making mistakes like that, how do you shrug it off and just keep going forward as a competitor?
Today it was just about finding the traction, like not lighting up the rear wheel so much, and I was struggling a little bit at first, and then at the end again, the track was kind of evolving as the race went on. So I think just trying to be adaptive and looking for lines out there. But overall, yeah, I'll never be disappointed with a podium result. I think a second is a great start to the season and a good place to be in the points. And we got a long season ahead to go for wins.
What are you going to do between now and the next round to get ready?
Just keep pushing. I've had a really solid off season, a good program with Jared Becker, my trainer, and he's got me grinding every day. So, yeah, we'll just keep going with that, and we'll be ready to go.
Big congratulations. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Three Bros Hatch Husqvarna team, Fox, X-Brand Goggles, Factory Connection, ETS, Pro Taper, IMS, all the supporters of the team. Thank you very much. And my mom for killing the pit today. She was on top of it. Quick pit, and girlfriend back home for all the support behind the scenes. It wouldn't be possible without them, so thank you all.
You got it. We gave Supermom plenty of shout-outs because she deserves it. Your head mechanic. Congratulations. Great performance out there for Kai Aiello, as we've seen a lot of very, very admirable and impressive performances all day long here. Round number one was everything we thought it would be. As you take a look at the snow-capped mountains in the background, a cool and comfortable day for racing. Another one of our podium finishers steps in. I got to ask you, sir, 60 degrees out there. It's normally sweltering hot in California. Was it something you relished with this 90-minute marathon?
Man, the weather, maybe I like the winter. I don't know. Like, I enjoy all sorts of summer, winter, anything. Like, it's pretty much fun to me.
Well, you did a great job. Take me through things from your perspective. How close were you at points? It looked like you definitely had some serious speed. You appeared to be one of the fastest in your class in certain sections. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, Brock Bennett and I, we were going back and forth, and I think right off the start he kind of pushed into me, and, it's racing, Robin's racing, so that set me back to last, and I just had to work my way up. And I got right back behind him, and I just kind of held my own with him. And last lap, I seen the white flag come out, and I was like, all right, it's time to push, and got the third place. And then I slowly creeped up on Kai, and I almost had him at the end. He was probably like 2-3 seconds in front of me, but that was a gnarly charge I did, though.
What was the most difficult part of this racetrack?
Not pushing too hard and putting your front wheel in places where it shouldn't be, because it gets really blue grooved out there, and it was like you almost need like supermoto tires on just to get grip, but just playing it safe but still not going too slow.
Well, you played it safe and ended up on the box, so great job. Congratulations. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I really got to thank my the whole FMF KTM RPM team, my dad, little brother, he's always pushing me, and my trainer Robert, Pro Circuit for suspension, Moose Racing, everyone else that supports me. Thank you.
Great job. Enjoy this. Great start to the season for so many. As we talk to our podium finishers here, round number one, Delano, California, American MX. Looking forward to the next round, which you can also watch with this live stream coverage. We talked about the 450s. We talked about the 250s. We have not yet talked about the women. And something that we told you during the broadcast, one of the biggest off-season stories was after a championship performance last year, young 18-year-old Michaela Nielsen switches to Honda, and different jersey, same result. You won it once again. So clearly you're just right at home on that new bike. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I try to get a good start. The roost here is gnarly, and so I got off to the whole shot and try to just set sail, because I knew it was going to be a battle if I stayed in with the roost and all that stuff. So I just tried to take off and ride my own race and find a flow, and I got it, and so I felt really good all race. I didn't get tired. Like, I knew my preparation coming in was the best I've had, and I just had a great race and tried to keep up with the boys, and so then I had like a goal to keep me going the whole race. So
So keep up with the boys is the goal. Well, it's cool you say that, too, because we got a perfect visual towards the end where Dante actually came up on you, and you were hanging right there for a little bit. Like, where she is, this shows you just how fast Michaela is going. Michaela, I got to ask you, how did you adapt to your new motorcycle so quickly?
I just tried to get a lot of seat time. The first time I rode it was in Ocotillo in the desert, and so I just free ride there the whole time, just get used to all the difference. And then we went to a sand track by the shop, and then we went to Glen Helen, and Glen Helen is like the best place you could probably prepare for an off-road race. So I put a lot of laps down at Glen Helen and did a lot of training at Paula as well, and I felt at home at the bike like within a week. Like, I just love it now. I feel comfortable. As you can see, I feel so much more like a different rider.
I can say the smile says it all. That is a debut. Who would you like to thank before we let you go?
The whole SLR team for backing me this year and taking a chance. Monster and Fly, Alpine Stars, Scott, Maxima, DID, and everyone else behind me. Thank you.
Kayla, congratulations. She is your winner. Brand new team, same result. She finishes number 1 here from Delano, but she's got a very tough field behind her. It's going to be a very competitive and entertaining battle in the women's division as well. Always something to see out here in the NGPC series. And another young lady that we got to talk about. I talked to her pre-race. She's on the gas. She is always tough. Said she took her conditioning to the next level this year, and it clearly was on display. Ava, congratulations. I know just one short of what you really wanted, but you got to be happy starting a season like this, right?
Yeah, definitely can't really complain that much. Definitely a super fast track today, probably the fastest I've ever gone on a dirt bike, so can't really complain with how we did. Kept it as close as possible. Definitely could get a lot closer, so can't complain with how we did.
Well, I know you told me you're working with a new trainer now and your conditioning's on point. What are some of the things you're doing to stay in such tip-top physical condition?
Just consistency with, I ride a lot, sometimes 4 times a week, usually 3 to 4 times a week, so definitely just being on the bike a lot helps. I feel like now to the point it's just like, obviously you got to have fitness off the bike as well, but, being able to be on the bike at least 4 times a week, is good for me because I just feel like consistent, bike time and, just perfecting those little things because I feel like at this point it's just like, it's small little things that really get you to that next level, not like huge jumps at one time. So just consistency of being on the bike and, obviously doing that gym work that you need to do.
Well, clearly you put it in. What do you think was your best spot on this track? What was your forte out here?
Honestly, I felt like I was pretty similar everywhere. I didn't really feel like there was one specific spot that I was really gelling with, but I don't know, just tried to get through it because it was a bit of a slick, dry one today, so, just getting through it.
Coming home with a second is something to be proud of. Who would you like to thank, Ava?
Of course, my mom and dad, my sister, my whole family, they do it all for me, so, appreciate that. Gas, Motor Cafe, Troy Lee Designs, Alpine Stars, Scott Goggles, Flex Bars, FMF, WP, and just, everyone else. Thank you.
Second place. Congratulations. Good luck this season. Ava on the gas figures to be very, very tough as we will closely monitor that Ava and Michaela battle, guys. Round number 1, I hope you loved every single second of this. Like we said, this field of women is absolutely stacked here, too, as we bring in another familiar face. Third place here today. Big congratulations. Anytime you can start the season with a podium finish, you're doing a great job. Tell me a little bit about it.
Heck yeah, it's always good to start out the year on the podium, and we've got some fast ladies in this class, so I'm trying to work hard, and me and Robbie Bell, we've been working hard together this offseason and trying to progress and get closer to that front pack.
Well, that's a good mentor to have, I would say so. It's great to see Bob Bell out here today and all the experts. What are some of the things that you were able to do over the offseason to really improve?
Yeah, me and Robbie, we really worked on a lot of fitness this offseason, and I always felt like I kind of lacked on my sprinting, especially in that first half of racing. So we've been working on that big time. Unfortunately, I do have like a full-time job, so it makes it hard to kind of ride during the week, but we've been fitting it in, so I just need to pick that up a little bit more.
Well, I would say that's a great performance. Only 14 days into the brand new year, you did a great job. Who would you like to thank?
The whole RPM, KTM, FMF racing team, Moose, CD, Alpine Stars, my dad, Mike and Sherry Hurlburt, and Robbie Bell and Bob Bell.
There you go. Congratulations. Third place. Great way to start the season. We told you we got some fast ladies out here. You think your ladies are fast? They're not that fast. What a round of racing it was. I can't wait until February 5th, where we will again be live from Taft, California. It's round number 2 of the NGPC series. Help us spread the word. We want to blow this up and get more views than ever before. We want to thank each and every one of you for watching. We want to thank all the great sponsors that were a part of it. For NGPC, Nick Garvin, Ross Fitz Productions, I'm Jack Corbella from Cycle Drag saying thanks so much from Delano, California. We'll see you at round number 2.